everyone, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough. Delighted to have you with us as the Red Sox go for their first sweep of a 4-game series in Toronto since August of 1995. All 3 games in this series to date have been close into the late innings. The big advantage for the Red Sox has been the work of its bullpen relative to the Blue Jays' pen. The Toronto bullpen has taken the loss in all 3 games in this series. Their bullpen ERA is 9.31. The Red Sox have outscored Toronto in the series 19-10. They've out-hit them 331 to 217. I'm joined as always by Jerry Remy. And Jerry, today as the Red Sox go for a sweep, it'll be the 4th start for David Cone.
And Sean, I think these starts become very important for David Cone. They're looking for some consistency now out of him to decide whether he's going to remain in the rotation, maybe go to the bullpen, or even be on the pitching staff. They hope he pitches like he did a couple of starts ago against the Yankees. One of his big problems has been walks. He didn't have good control last time he faced New York. He might have a little better success against this club. They're a free-swinging team. They don't have the patience of the New York Yankees, so this might be the ideal team for David Cone to face today.
And the Red Sox today will face the Blue Jays' best starter of late, the New Hampshire native Chris Carpenter, who's coming off a shutout, a 6-hitter in his last outing against the Chicago White Sox in Chicago. Carpenter 5-2 for Toronto this year. First pitch under the roof of Sky Dome right after this. Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers. In a perfect world, everything would be different. By the Mass Department of Health, make smoking history. By your New England Ford dealers. Visit your New England Ford dealers for the best-selling trucks on the planet. By Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. And by Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one mission, low fares.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I know what I'm doing. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Watch my import. I'm going in. Go get a wildcat.
What are you doing?
Now at AT&T Wireless, choose what's right for you. Sign up for a qualifying plan and choose any 2 special offers. 1,000 night and weekend minutes, or 200 anytime minutes, or nationwide long distance, all from your home calling area at no additional charge for a year. Plus, get up to $100 cash back with mail-in phone and service rebates. It's your choice. Visit any AT&T store or authorized dealer, or call 1-800-IMAGINE.
How do you learn to hit like Nomar? How do you learn to field like Nomar? From Nomar. Enter the Nomar Dream Clinic sweepstakes at your local Dunkin' Donuts, and you can attend a baseball clinic with Nomar at Fenway Park. Want to hit like Nomar? Then hit Dunkin' Donuts first.
Welcome back live to Sky Dome in Toronto. Once again, the game will be played indoors because it is not particularly nice outside. A gray, overcast, and cool day with the chance of more rain here. It's been a very gray and rainy weekend. But the Red Sox have enjoyed their stay in this beautiful city. They've won the first 3 games of this series, and they'll go for a sweep today with David Cone against Chris Carpenter. The Red Sox, with their victory yesterday, now 31-22. Winners of 4 in a row. A win today would match their longest winning streak of the season. They remain a game ahead of the Yankees, who were also victorious yesterday at home against Cleveland. The big news here locally, the slide of the Toronto Blue Jays. They've lost 4 in a row in 6 of their last 7. They're at their low water mark for the year, 26-29. And yesterday, they slid down into 4th place as the Baltimore Orioles moved past them in the American League East standings. And we've talked a lot, Jerry, about how competitive this division is. The Blue Jays well aware of how good the Yankees and Red Sox are. There are also a number of other wild card contenders in the other divisions. So the time is now for Toronto. They really can't afford to stay in this slide for very long.
No, and when you see the team like the Baltimore Orioles jump ahead of you to go into 3rd place, you have to be very concerned because they have not played good baseball through the month of May, and here starting in June. This weekend series really has been dominated by the Red Sox. There have been some close scores, but when you get toward the end of the game, you just have the feeling that the Red Sox are going to do things right. And right now, Buck Martinez and his Toronto Blue Jays do not expect good things to happen at the end of the game.
It's been a case of just not being able to do the little things. Get the key hit at the right moment, get a bunt down when they need it, make a good pitch when they need it. And I think what's disappointing to the Blue Jay manager is that this weekend the bullpen has been a big problem, and that had been one of the big strengths of the team heading into this series. The Blue Jays have taken the field for another relatively small crowd. The Red Sox starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Jose Offerman, the second baseman, leading off. Trot Nixon, the right fielder, bats second. Carl Everett, who hit the game-winning home run yesterday, is the center fielder. Manny Ramirez back on track with his performance in this series, the DH and cleanup hitter. The red-hot Dante Bichette in left field. Brian Daubach is the first baseman. John Valentin in the lineup at shortstop today. He is batting seventh. Scott Hatteberg gets the start behind the plate, and Shea Hillenbrand, the third baseman, bats ninth against New Hampshire native Chris Carpenter.
He is quickly becoming the top pitcher on this pitching staff for the Toronto Blue Jays. You see the record of 5-2, and all 5 of those wins have come on the road, so that may be a good sign for the Red Sox today. He's coming off a complete game shutout of the Chicago White Sox last time out, and in his career against the Red Sox, 1-3. He was 1-1 last year in 3 starts.
And the defense behind Chris this afternoon: Shannon Stewart, the left fielder; Jose Cruz Jr. in center field; Raul Mondesi in right; Tony Batista, the third baseman; Alex Gonzalez at shortstop; Homer Bush back in the starting lineup at second base; Carlos Delgado at first; Alberto Castillo behind the plate. Larry Young calls the balls and strikes. And the first pitch from Carpenter is a called strike at the knees. Jose Offerman hitting .296. 4 homers and 17 runs batted in. First pitch at 107. Breaking ball in for strike 2.
Chris Carpenter will feature 2 types of fastballs: the 2-seamer, cross-seamer, a good curveball, and a very good changeup.
Offerman pulls it down the line. Fair ball. Played by Mondesi. He has a great arm. The throw to second, not in time, and not handled by Gonzalez. So on an 0-2 pitch, Carpenter makes a mistake, and Offerman makes him pay with a leadoff double.
Yeah, tried to put Jose away with that curveball on the 0-2 count, and not a good pitch at all. Offerman right down that first base line for the leadoff double, and you've got to hustle right out of the box when you're dealing with Raul Mondesi. Mondesi with 6 assists out there in right field. He'll make every play close at second base.
It's a 7-game hit streak now for Offerman. He's in scoring position for Trot Nixon. He ran up as if to bunt, took the bat back, and looked at a ball. 248 for Trot, 6 homers, including a 3-run homer here on Friday night. 20 runs batted in. Trot was 1 for 4 yesterday. To the shortstop Gonzalez. He looked at third, realized the wise play was at first. Offerman at third base with 1 out.
Good base running play there by Jose Offerman. When that ball is to your left, you know the shortstop's going to have to go to his left to make the play, and Offerman just takes off at third base and makes it easily. There he goes. He gets the jump. He reads where the ground ball is. He knows that Gonzalez has no chance to get him, so you don't always have to hit the ball to the right side to get the job done.
So the Red Sox with a chance to grab the quick early lead with runner at third and 1 out. The infield back for Toronto with Carl Everett up there, but he hits a little soft pop up to the shortstop Gonzalez. And a big out for the Blue Jays and Chris Carpenter. Everett first ball swinging out on the little looper, too short.
Carpenter going right in on the hands of Carl Everett. He saw yesterday what happens when you leave the ball out over the plate against Everett. That time he jammed him, and the little pop up to shortstop.
Now Manny Ramirez, as you saw during the starting lineup graphic, he's had a big series. He's hit in all 3 games. Has gone 6 for 14. That's a .429 average. 3 for 4 yesterday with the other mammoth home run hit by the Red Sox. .379 to lead the league for Manny. He's second in homers behind Alex Rodriguez with 17 and first in the league with 59 runs batted in. .10 from Carpenter is a breaking ball high.
Manny's had good success against Carpenter in his career. .455 batting average with a home run.
Carpenter 25 years old. Gets a bounding ball down to third. Batista throws him out. The Red Sox cannot capitalize on the leadoff double by Offerman. After a half inning, no score, you're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
At Liberty Mutual Insurance, we want Wayne Gazelle to lift with his back in the right position, and Jimmy Roberts to know what to do if his bus starts to slide, and Tim Mursicki to learn the facts about drinking and driving. So we have safety programs for all of them, and a commitment to safety that goes back almost 90 years. At Liberty Mutual, we don't just insure against bad things. We try to keep bad things from happening at all.
Who makes the best minivan? Dodge Caravan has the only power rear hatch with cargo organizer. Check. The only movable center console. Check. The most powerful engine available. Check. The only 3-zone automatic temperature control. Check. Dodge Grand Caravan. The best minivan ever. Check it out. See, compare, drive. Caravan. Now with a $2,000 cash allowance or low 0.9 financing.
No score after a half inning here in Toronto. The Blue Jays starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Toronto trying to bring to an end this 4-game losing skid. Shannon Stewart, the left fielder, will lead off. Alex Gonzalez at shortstop. Raul Mondesi, the right fielder, bats third. The cleanup hitter, first baseman Carlos Delgado. The DH, Brad Fulmer, bats fifth. Jose Cruz Jr. is in center field. He's been a much better hitter here at Skydome this season than he has been on the road. Tony Batista, the third baseman. Homer Bush at second base. And the catcher, Alberto Castillo, will bat ninth against David Cone.
3 starts for David Cone against Minnesota, where he had 4 walks in that game. Then the loss against the Yankees, but pitched well. No walks and 5 strikeouts. But last time out, only 2 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks again for David Cone. And that's something they worked on between starts, trying to quiet him down a little bit, get better control. And we'll see how it works out today against a free-swinging Toronto ball club.
He says it's been the movement of his front leg there. The left leg has been swinging too violently and throwing his delivery off. So they've been trying to get him to move that leg under more control. The defense behind David this afternoon. Dante Bichette is the left fielder. Carl Everett in center and Trot Nixon in right. Shea Hillenbrand at third. John Valentin at short. Jose Offerman at second base. Brian Dahlbach at first. And Scott Hatteberg gets the start behind the plate. Shannon Stewart, the batter. And he takes a Cone breaking ball for ball 1. 329 for Stewart. 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. A strike. The Red Sox squandered a good chance to score in the top of the inning, and you have to think when a team's going as Toronto is, Jerry, that might seem like a little thing, but perhaps it's a big thing, because the Red Sox had a chance to get some early momentum here right away and have the Blue Jays thinking, here we go again. But they've given them a little something positive here at the start of the game. Stewart out on the ground ball to short.
Now you take anything you can get, and certainly right now they're looking for any kind of break they can get. Maybe that was one in the first inning.
One out. Here's Alex Gonzalez, hitting .249. 6 homers, 31 runs batted in. He was 0 for 4 yesterday after a 3-hit night Friday night. He's always hit Cone well. He's 8 for 20 in his career against David with 3 walks. Second ball missed. 2-0. And there's ball 3, not close. And a strike over the outside part of the plate. David Cone pitched for Toronto back in 1995. He divided his time that year between the Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. Little lob down the right field line. That drops in for a hit. Yesterday, Jerry had a chance to speak with David Cone about the work he's been doing on his mechanics.
Well, I think, you know, the thing we've narrowed down is that when I do get into the mode where I have trouble getting my fastball over is that I really start to swing my leg badly and then open up and fly open. And these are classic kind of cliches that you hear pitchers talk about all the time, but we're able to narrow down the focus just on my leg kick and my leg swing.
I guess it's like golf, Jerry. You don't have too many swing thoughts. If you can just think about one thing, perhaps it's easy. When you think about more than one thing, sometimes you're overthinking.
Now, it's just like a hitter, Sean. When he's in a slump, they go to the plate thinking about 5 or 6 different things: their shoulder, their head, where their hands are, where their feet are. When you swing the bat well, you step in there and you just hit the ball.
Cone's throwing a first pitch ball to all 3 batters now. 1-0 on Raul Mondesi, hitting .281. 10 homers and 33 runs batted in. Good off-speed pitch. Mondesi fooled by it. 1-1.
Cone would really like to have a strong outing today and get a Red Sox win, and then he would start to feel like he's part of this ball club. He talked about that yesterday too, how difficult it is to step in. You know you can be a leader, but you can't be if you're not pitching well.
One on Mondesi. Dahlbach holding Gonzalez, who has a good lead. The infield at double play depth. The outfield a little bit around toward right. Good breaking ball for strike 2. Cone actually had 2 stints here in Toronto. His first was back in 1992 when the Mets traded him to the Blue Jays late in the season for Jeff Kent and Ryan Thompson. And David helped the Blue Jays win their first of the back-to-back World Championships that year. Quick throw to first, and Gonzalez is back safely.
Looks like they had Gonzalez leaning towards second base on that pickoff attempt.
Sinking fast in center. Everett will have to play it on a hop. Gonzalez read it well. He goes to third. The throw cut off. They had no chance to get Gonzalez. A looping hit for Mondesi. And Cone in a jam here in the first. First and third and 1 out.
Now both base hits off David Cone have not exactly been crushed. The 3-1 base hit by Gonzalez to the opposite field, and that fastball to Mondesi actually got in around the label of the bat. Just muscled it out to center field. It's a very good read by Gonzalez. You have to know where that center field is playing. You know he can't make the play, and you continue on to third base.
We say this all the time when we see Toronto play, but Gonzalez is one of those guys you don't hear a lot about when you're not watching the Blue Jays play every day, but the more you see him, the more you like him.
Good player. You know, it's very solid and steady at shortstop. Runs the bases well. He's in a little bit of a funk right now at the plate, but he's also a pretty good hitter.
No chance for the Blue Jays to grab the lead. If the Red Sox missed a good chance in the top of the inning. Here's the guy they really need to get going. Carlos Delgado's had a lot of chances in this series to do some damage and really hasn't. He's hitting .256, 17 homers, 35 runs batted in. They have the shift on in the infield, the 3 infielders on the right side. Only Hillenbrand on the left. Breaking ball, low and in. Dug out of the dirt by Hatteberg. It has been a monumental struggle for Delgado against Cone. 3 for 32 with 16 strikeouts. Mondesi back to first. Garth Forge, the first base coach. Terry Bevington coaches at third.
If for some reason Delgado was the squib when down at third base, Valentin would have to become the pivot man at second with that shift on in the double play.
Mondesi takes off and Delgado fouls it out of play to the left. Here in '92 was really just a rental player for the stretch drive, helped them win the World Championship. Then he signed with Kansas City right after the World Series in '92 as a free agent. Was with them in '93 and '94 and then got traded back to Toronto in a deal that included Chris Steinitz. He was with the Blue Jays for half of the '95 season. They traded him to the Yankees at the trading deadline for 3 right-handed pitching prospects who didn't pan out. Marty Jansen, Jason Jarvis, and Mike Gordon. Fastball just inside. 2 balls and a strike on Delgado. Play to the left as Delgado reached for it. Buck Martinez and the Blue Jays beginning their longest homestand of the season. The home cooking hasn't done them much good. They've only won 2 of their last 13 home games.
Now that's not good. When you have a feeling as a team that you can't win at home and you can't wait to get on the road, you're not on a very good ball club. It's miserable. I've been on a few of those teams where you couldn't wait to get on the road.
We have Tampa Bay and Florida coming in here after the Red Sox, and then Atlanta. The pitch is strike 3. The throw to second, not in time to get Mondesi. The Delgado struggle continues as he's called out on strikes. Hatteberg couldn't throw out Mondesi, who has his 10th stolen base of the year.
Well, Delgado's struggles against David Cone continue. That looked to be the splitter on the outside corner. Pretty generous strike called by Larry Young, and then the throw. Nice play by Valentin, not allowing that to go into center field. That would have been a run had it got by Valentin.
Two outs, 2 men in scoring position, and the batter is the DH, Brad Fulmer. He takes a ball low and away. Homer hitting .282, 7 homers and 38 runs batted in. Returned to the lineup yesterday after sitting out a couple of days with a sore right ankle and lower shin as the result of a foul ball off his lower leg. Hit on the ground to second. Offerman throws him out. So each team had a great chance to score in the first inning and could not. And the beat goes on for Buck Martinez and the Blue Jays. We just can't come up with a big hit. No score after 1.
Whether you're high-rolling business associates.
Hi, Chuck.
Brad, great to see you.
Or just old buddies.
Go, go, ooka, ooka, friends to the end, no matter how we look up.
You're gonna love Southwest Airlines' new Take-Along Special. Purchase a special discounted fare by June 11th and take someone along with you for just $30.
free to move about the country.
What do you do here?
I work out in the field, cleaning up chemical spills, working with hazardous materials, benzene.
Benzene?
Benzene.
Dangerous stuff?
It is very dangerous.
What could it do to you?
Cause cancer.
When do you use this device?
On chemical spills.
What's it show?
Volatile organics, which is probably benzene, toluene.
What does it read?
20 ppm.
You find that on a chemical spill?
Yes, you would.
That kind of level?
Yep.
Are you worried?
I'm worried now.
Pedro, can you win 30 games this year?
I'm not sure, but I'll give it a try.
Pedro, do you think this is the year?
We'll just take it one game at a time and give it 100% effort.
Hey, this is a two-part question. Did you know that the lobster roll was back at McDonald's?
Yes, I did know.
And how do you feel about that?
Hungry.
Thank you.
The delicious lobster roll is back at McDonald's, and now you get more lobster than ever for just $4.99. Plus, you can get a disposable camera with free film processing for $1.99 when you buy an extra value meal.
Here you go, kid.
Thank you.
David Cone got out of a jam in the first inning. He threw 19 pitches in the first. And we're scoreless as we go to the second inning. Coming up right after the game, it's NASCAR on Fox. Winston Cup point leader Dale Jarrett battling Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace, among others, for the checkered flag on the Monster Mile at Dover Downs Speedway in Delaware. Don't miss any of the racing action. NASCAR on Fox coming up right after the game here on Fox 25. Dante Bichette, the hitter, ball one high. Dante's up to 318 in there against another right-hander because of his recent success at the plate. A homer and 11 runs batted in for Bichette. It was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles yesterday. He's hitting 5 games in a row, going 8 for 15 during those 5.
Red Sox today had to make another roster move. Graybeck put on the disabled list after fouling a ball off his foot. And Lou Merlone called back from AAA.
His third stint.
I believe it is the third time. Lou
is here. Saw Craig Graybeck leaving the hotel this morning on crutches and with his foot in a little boot, so he's going to have some x-rays. Find out the extent of the damage. There's Merlone. Bichette just did get out of the way of that inside pitch from Chris Carpenter. Carpenter, a terrific athlete in New Hampshire, as the folks in the great state of New Hampshire will well remember. He went to Trinity High School in Manchester, graduated in '93. Gets Bichette to hit a little pop-up behind the plate. Castillo has room. 1 out. Carpenter was all-state in both baseball and hockey for 3 years. When he was in high school in New Hampshire, played on a state championship baseball team in '92. Born in Exeter, New Hampshire, lives in Bedford now. His wife, Allison.
That's one tall hockey player.
Yeah, 6'6", 225 pounds. Making his 100th career start today. 117th major league appearance. He's dropped about 10 or 12 pounds since last year. He's in terrific shape.
9% body fat, they say. That's what I'm going to get to this offseason, Sean. 9%.
You are? What, you got a leg amputated?
Liposuction.
Ryan Daubach, the batter, 1-1 the count. Did you have dinner with your good friend Larry King last night?
Larry stood me up, so I went back to the hotel. I had room service, watched some TV, watched the hockey game. Did you see, we probably didn't see it last night, Tim Russett had Yogi Berra on. I guess Yogi wrote a book. That was a hilarious hour, I'll tell you.
1-2 the count. Remember some of the highlights?
Well, all the sayings, of course, that Yogi's had. And now all the politicians are using those sayings in their speeches. And they had clips of him, you know, in the Senate and the House and giving Yogi-isms, you know. And Yogi just getting a big kick out of it.
Some of them are actually true. You know, he once remarked about a restaurant, nobody goes there anymore, it's too crowded. And when you think about it, that makes sense. I mean, we've all perhaps avoided going to a place because generally it is crowded.
When you get to the fork in the road, take it. I think that's the name of the book, as a matter of fact.
Yes. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Good breaking ball from Carpenter for his first strikeout. 2 down here in the second.
Strikeout high for Carpenter on the season is 11. He did that in his very first outing against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. That's that good curveball we were talking about. Excellent curveball, excellent changeup from Carpenter.
And the Blue Jay coaching staff believes, having just turned 26, that he's really maturing and ready to become one of the premier starters in this league. He threw strike 1 to John Valentin.
You know, we talked about this a couple of years ago. They had Carpenter, they had Escobar, Holiday, who is now back in Double-A baseball. And they said, well, if all those arms come together, this is going to be a great pitching staff. Well, the only one that's really turning out to be special is Carpenter.
Escobar has a lot of ability, but he's been up and down. Carpenter's thrown a couple of close pitches to Valentin, both called balls, 2-1. Chris Mahalik, Joey Hamilton started earlier in this series. Watching the 26-year-old Carpenter. Foul ball from Valentin, 2-2. Yankees and Cleveland are concluding their series today at Yankee Stadium. They're in the second inning, and Cleveland has a 1-0 lead. Charles Nagy and Andy Pettit, the starters. Excellent breaking ball by Carpenter. He has a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Escape to an exotic place that we call the driver's seat. The BMW 7 Series sedan, now available for $799 a month. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Visit your local BMW center for a test drive.
Use your and sign up for. You'll get brand new channels like plus 6 channels of. Call 1-866-FREE-100 and get 100 days free. Then thank your lucky, because it's gonna be. Get 100 days free on select digital value packages from AT&T Digital Cable.
Back at Sky Dome, no score as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Well, the Bo Sox Club, the official Red Sox booster organization, will sponsor 15 youngsters to attend former Red Sox second baseman Mike Andrews' baseball camp for the week of July 9th. To enter, write a letter explaining why you would like to attend the camp and send it to the address on your screen, or email to campusship@bosoxclub.org. Letters must be received by June the 18th.
David Cone battled out of a first inning jam. The Blue Jays left runners at second and third. Here's the number 6 hitter to begin the second. Jose Cruz Jr. hitting .281 with 7 homers and 24 runs batted in. Rips the first pitch in a left, a base hit. A line shot through the left side between Hillenbrand and Valentin.
Cruz had most of the day off yesterday. Came in late and was 0 for 1. He'll take that outside fastball, go with the pitch to the opposite field, and pick up the base hit. Most of the time, Cruz tries to pull the ball. You don't see him do that very often. That's just good hitting.
That was the first pitch strike thrown by Cone. Cruz was ready for it. Here's Batista. Tony takes a breaking ball that just missed. .217 for the Toronto third baseman with 13 homers and 41 runs batted in. hitless yesterday. That brought to an end a 5-game hitting streak. In the Cleveland New York game, Robbie Alomar has homered for the Cleveland Run. They lead 1-0 in the second. Red Sox will be in New York to take on the Yankees in a makeup game, the game that was rained out when the Red Sox were last in New York. Cruz is running, but Batista hits one back to Cone. His only play is at first. 1 out. Cruz now at second. Cone's a good fielder. He's a very good athlete.
And it seems obvious too that the way the Blue Jays have been going with Cone on the mound, they're going to try to go every chance they get. Cone has a very slow delivery to home plate, so they're going to try to take advantage of that, and because that run is moving, they cannot make the double play.
One out. Here's Homer Bush. He had the day off yesterday. He's been slumping of late, so Jeff Fry got his first start in a couple of weeks. Bush hitting .333. A homer and 5 runs batted in. He's 1 for 8 in the series and now 4 for his last 27. He turned as if to bunt and looked at strike 1. Just a short lead away from second for Cruz. Zoffman standing very close to the bag. Breaking ball in the dirt, and an excellent stop by Hatteberg, sliding to his right.
Well, there's not been much playing time at all for Scott Hatteberg recently, and he must feel strange to be behind the plate. Heck of a play there. Almost got through the 5-hole, but he gets it right in the webbing of the glove.
They appreciate your hockey references.
I watched a little of the game last night.
It was quite a game. Today in the Toronto Sun sports section, you only had to go through 5 pages of hockey articles before you saw the first article about the Blue Jays.
You know, the game must have been on like 5 different channels up here last night. It was all over the place.
You can get it in French,
English. It was on ABC, obviously. We get the Buffalo stations up here too.
Yes. Ripped to third and handled by Hillenbrand. And Bush is out. He hit a bullet and a nice pickup by Shea Hillenbrand. Cruz still at second base now with 2 outs.
Pitching motion of David Cone out of the stretch. You see, he's trying to keep that front leg quiet, not kick it back behind the rubber. That time it was about even with the rubber. And I'm sure that makes Joe Kerrigan, who's spent an awful lot of time with Cone between starts, happy so far today.
The number 9 man, Alberto Castillo, with a swing and a miss at a fastball. The foul tipped it into the mid of Hatteberg. 158. For Castillo, his only homer and run batted in against the Red Sox last weekend at Fenway off Frank Castillo. Breaking ball missed.
David Cone is pitching well. He'll just throw from a lot of different arm angles. He'll drop down to the side against right-handers. I think right now he's so concerned about getting his mechanics right that he almost seems like he's thinking about every single pitch he makes.
Fastball for a strike. It popped out of the mid of Hatteberg, but didn't get far enough away for Cruz to try to move up.
The velocity's been good for David Cone in all the starts he's made for the Red Sox, and I think better than the few times that we saw him a year ago with the Yankees.
They had that fastball at 91 on their radar gun, which they post the reading on the scoreboard in center field. Gets through the legs of Hatteberg. And on to third goes Cruz.
Last time Hatteberg was able to save it in the webbing of the glove, but not that time. All the way back to the backstop. Hatteberg also has not caught David Cone very much, with the exception of maybe in the bullpen.
2-2 pitch. He struck him out with a breaking ball. The Blue Jays have left 3 men in scoring position in the first 2 innings. Still no score. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
So he keeps calling you?
26 times since Tuesday.
And what do you say?
Not a word.
What about his stuff?
I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it. Not the car, though.
It is a very nice car. What if he wants it back?
Like he'll ever find me.
Verizon puts together the world's most powerful technologies so you can do whatever you want. Verizon.
Best crackers in the world can do this in 60 minutes. I need someone who can do it in 60 seconds. You're kidding. Go. 45 seconds. 15. More time, more time. Come on, Stan.
From the producer of The Matrix.
3, 2, 1. No, wait.
Swordfish, rated R, starts this Friday at a theater near you.
Red Sox baseball continues on the Fox 25 network from Toronto, Ontario. No score as we go to the third here at Sky Dome. We remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Boston Red Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. Scott Hatteberg, first ball swinging, hits a long drive to center. Cruz back near the warning track to make the catch. Hatteberg went up there hitting 167 and hit that one pretty well, but it's a long out. And Chris Carpenter has retired 7 in a row since the double to start the game by Jose Offerman.
Of all the guys on the Red Sox that have really lost playing time, it's Scott Hatteberg because of Ramirez being the DH. He was scheduled to be the left-handed DH, Bichette the right-handed DH, and Hatteberg has had very little playing time all season long.
And to his credit, has remained relatively quiet about it. Shea Hillenbrand, the batter. Fastball a little bit high. Shea batting 9th today as his slump continues. He's 1 for his last 18. His average .279, 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. He hit just .228 in May.
Dave Corris informs us that Hatteberg has only caught 86 innings so far this season. So Veritek obviously getting the bulk of the work behind the plate. But what's really hurt Hatteberg is the fact that Ramirez has remained a DH and he has not been able to take some swings as a DH.
High chopper off the glove of Batista to Gonzalez, but they can't make a play. And 1 hit in the last 18 at bats for Hillenbrand coming in was an infield hit, and this might be another.
Almost better here, I think, if Batista would have let Gonzalez make the play on the big hop. He would have been in better position to make a throw. The ball just deflects right off the glove of Batista, and nobody has a chance after that.
They haven't posted a scoring decision. The official scoring this weekend has been dreadful and the subject of much discussion. Now Offerman trying to bunt his way on. Carpenter lets it spin foul. Jose had a hit if that ball had stayed in fair territory, but it rolled foul.
Well, that's the kind of putt you would like to make, Sean, when you're golfing. Have that thing come back toward the pin, but not in baseball. You'll see it spin right to past the line, and Carpenter just waits for it to get past the line. I like the idea, though. We're seeing a few guys try to bunt a little bit more on the Red Sox. Backspin, and Carpenter will just wait till it goes foul.
Still no scoring decision on the Hillenbrand play.
I gave him a hit on my
I don't know how you couldn't, really, but you never know. The official scores here apparently have to poll the Blue Jay players before they announce their decision. We talked yesterday about the scoring changes made after Friday night's game, when both errors Jose Offerman made late in the game were taken away after the game. Hillenbrand back on the quick throw by Castillo, and apparently those changes were made at the request of a Blue Jay player. So even though the correct decision seemed to be made originally, both of those plays were errors. The player asked to have them changed to hits, and that's what happened.
Maybe he's going to wait till the inning's over and run down and talk to Batista and ask him what he'd like it to be called, an error or a hit.
I think that's the way they do it here. Well, they have put up a hit now.
Tony must have gave him a signal. That's a hit.
Well, that's the easiest way to official score, too, is give everybody a hit. Then you make the hitter happy, the fielder's happy. He didn't get an error. The only one who might be unhappy is the pitcher.
Ernie's.
Because he winds up giving up an earned run. But it would be bad form for him to complain about it. A lot of times the official score takes the path of least resistance to make everybody happy. But that one seemed to be a hit, and Hillenbrand could use the hit.
And Batista doesn't really need another error.
No. Offerman takes a strike. Scoreboard says 2-1, but didn't he bunt one foul?
Yes, he did.
So that had to be strike 2, didn't it?
It's got to be 2-2.
Scoreboard here at Skydome still has 2-1, but that can't be right. The pitch. Chop to second. Bush to Gonzalez, and they get Hillenbrand for the second out of the inning. Offerman safe on a fielder's choice. Here's Trot Nixon, who grounded to short in the first inning. No score. We're in the third. Carpenter missed low with a breaking ball. Yankees and Cleveland now in the bottom of the third in New York, still 1-0 Indians. Belt high fastball for a strike. That fastball clocked at 93 miles per hour. Not only do the Blue Jay coaches and manager Buck Martinez rave about Carpenter's ability, they rave about him as a person as well. And everybody you talk to around their club talk about what a very nice young man this guy is. The folks in New Hampshire have a lot of reasons to be proud of him, most notably the fact that he's a terrific guy. One-two pitch. Wow. Well, sometimes nice guys don't get the calls.
Trot Nixon right now should be taking his way out to right field with his glove. That curveball fooled Larry Young, the home plate umpire.
2-2 pitch in the dirt. Check swing. Carpenter wanted to peel. Larry Young isn't going to give it to him, apparently. So the Red Sox trying to take advantage of the break. Carpenter had him struck out and didn't get the call, and now it's 3-2 on Nixon.
And I'm sure Nixon's aware that he did get away with one, so don't take anything close now.
No. things have gone for the Red Sox and the Blue Jays in this series, you really do expect the Red Sox to take advantage of that break. 3-2 pitch. Line and caught. It almost ate up the shortstop. Gonzalez looked like he was going to take the glove right off his hand, but he held on to it. And the Red Sox do not score in the third. No score in Toronto going to the bottom of the third.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This bug's for you, and you. This bug's for you.
What are you doing? Shh. I'm trying to get the batter to hit a foul ball to me. How are you going to do that? By sending him silent mind signals. What, I break your concentration? Cut it out, Jamie. Mom!
For tickets, call 617-482-4SOX or log on to redsox.com.
Right here, right now.
It's time for Toyota's National Sales Event. Now get special leases on Tacoma 4x4, just $199 a month for 48 months with $18.99 due at signing. Or buy an SR5 Extra Cab and save up to $1,070. Or you can save thousands with special low financing on Tacoma and Tundra, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy for the second straight year. Toyota's National Sales Event at your New England Toyota dealer. Hurry, it ends June 4th.
Original, informative, and groundbreaking. Fox 25 bringing you stories that impact your life. Stories that you won't see anywhere else. Fox 25, the news is on at 10. No score here. David Cone has thrown 31 pitches through the first 2 innings. And he's dodged a bullet in each inning. Blue Jays have left 3 men on base in the first 2 innings, all 3 of them in scoring position, 2 of them at third base. Top of the order, Shannon Stewart, who grounded to short to begin the Toronto first. He fouls one straight back. Stewart, Gonzalez, and Mondesi coming up. Cone has given up 3 hits, 2 of them loop hits, one of them a solid single last inning by Cruz. The good news for David, he hasn't walked anybody. And he has struck out 2. He's thrown a wild pitch. Check swing. Was not a swing, said Andy Fletcher. Ooh, that hurt. Right down off the foot of Stewart. He went down in the heat. They've had a problem with that on this Toronto team. Fulmer's missed time as a result of a foul ball off his foot. Delgado had to leave batting practice Friday night after hitting one off his foot, and that one was a direct hit right down on the toes.
It happens a lot with the players who have slight uppercut swings. They hit on top of the baseball, and the baseball straight down on the foot or the ankle. Talking, Sean, about the makeup game tomorrow in New York. Pedro's going to pitch for the Red Sox, but Messina is not going to pitch for the Yankees. Ramiro Mendoza is going to get the start tomorrow night at Yankee Stadium.
They want to get Messina away from that Pedro head-to-head matchup for the 3rd time in a row. Mendoza's a guy when he's on with that sinker ball, Jerry. He's been very tough on the Red Sox in the past.
The good news is he's been working out of the bullpen, so they only expect him to make about 70, 75 pitches. But of course, the sinker ball pitcher, that can take him pretty deep into a game. They're up there helping him out, swinging early in the count.
He's coming back from arm trouble, but you wonder now with the problems in their starting rotation at the end, with El Duque back on the disabled list, Ted Lilly still a question mark as number 5 starter, if maybe they'll move Mendoza into the rotation once they build back the arm strength, stamina. Bounce down to third, charged by Hillenbrand. He throws on the run for the out. Cone's retired 4 in a row. 1 out here in the 3rd inning in a scoreless game.
Well, this is already better than the last outing against New York. Cone even though still making quite a few pitches, throwing more strikes.
And you would think he would benefit from pitching against a Toronto team that is scuffling collectively at the plate.
And they'll help you out every now and then. They're a free swinging group. They don't walk very much, strike out a lot.
Strike in with a breaking ball to Alex Gonzalez. He looped a single into right field in the first inning. In the dirt. 1-1. The Yankees and Cleveland have gone to the fourth inning now. The Indians still leading 1-0 on the Alomar home run. Strike 2 with the knees. David Cone, 38 years old, indicated recently this is likely to be his last season. Did open up the possibility of returning, but in all likelihood this is it. He strikes out Gonzalez, swinging at a pitch off the plate. And yesterday David Cone talked about pitching to this free swinging Toronto lineup.
They have been prone to chase. They know me well also, and it's another situation that even though they do chase, I'm still going to have to try to get my fastball over for strikes and keep them honest. And you know, that's kind of the MO on me at this point in my career. People know that I can throw splitters in the dirt and have a pretty good breaking ball, but I've got to get my fastball over.
So a lot of breaking balls today. Throws the fastball over to Mondesi, who fouled it back onto the backstop. Mondesi singled to center and stole second, was stranded in the first inning.
Last hitter, a good example of a guy chasing Gonzalez, going out of the strike zone to swing and miss at the curveball. Got ahead here of Mondesi with the fastball.
25 of his 40 pitches have been strikes. That's good news for Cone. The fastball up and away. 1-1. Two and one. Breaking ball missed. 3 balls and a strike. Let's pause for station identification on the Fox 25 network.
You're watching WFXT Fox 25 Boston, home of the Red Sox.
Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy at Sky Dome in Toronto. The Red Sox trying to sweep this 4-game series. Scoreless in the third. Mondesi takes ball 4 low. 4 straight balls thrown by Cone. That's the first walk David has given up. Now we have Carlos Delgado. Buck Martinez trying to do what he can to get this lineup going, particularly Delgado. He's been moving Delgado and Mondesi, flip-flopping them in the 3rd and 4th spots. But talking with Buck before the game today, he said really it doesn't matter for either one of these hitters where they hit. It's just a matter of Delgado starting to hit, regardless of whether he's hitting 3rd or 4th. It seemed to you, as compared to the past when Delgado would take pitches to all parts of the field, this weekend series at least he's trying to pull just about everything?
I think that's what happens when guys get into prolonged slumps. They're trying to, with one swing of the bat, you know, try to help the ball club out with a home run.
Pulls that one foul. He's in the hole 0-2. Delgado struck out with 2 men on in the first inning.
I mean, the one positive number Delgado has going for himself with the home run totals, he's got 17. And he's not been getting a lot of base hits, 256 average, so he's probably trying to hit some home runs and give his team a boost. When you do that, when you try to hit them, they don't come as regularly.
Not far off his homer pace of a year ago, but the average well below. Delgado pulls that one high and deep to right, way back, and the Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead. That one up into the second deck of seats behind the Red Sox bullpen. On an 0-2 pitch, Delgado hits his 18th of the season.
Well, for the most part with Delgado, when you get a couple of strikes, you try to go upstairs, and that's what they tried to do. But Cone doesn't have quite the velocity that he once had upstairs, and became very hittable for Delgado, and he puts it up in that second deck. So there he helps his team with his 18th home run of the season.
He's now tied with Alex Rodriguez of Texas with a league lead in home runs. It's the 4th home run given up by David Cone this season for the Red Sox. In 14 1/3 innings pitched. Brad Fulmer, the batter. The 1-0 pitch to him is a strike over the outside part of the plate. He drives one deep down the right field line, but it's hooking. Foul. Plenty of distance to be a homer.
Might want to go to a few splitters right now because they're all over the fastball.
Meanwhile, in New York, Derek Jeter has hit a home run, and New York has tied up Cleveland. 1-1 the score in that game. 1-2 pitch to Fulmer. Breaking ball low. No, Delgado's a lot like Manny Ramirez in that if he gets hot, he can carry an entire offense for a while. And that's what the Blue Jays are hoping for, that he'll pick it up and get this offense back where they were last year. Fulmer chopped it down to first. Daubach makes the play unassisted to end the inning, but Toronto gets 2 on a 2-run home run by Carlos Delgado. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
When it comes to bestsellers, your New England Ford dealers are leading the pack with 5 of the top 10 in America. And now, during Ford Truck Month, get an extra $500 cash back for a total of $1,500 cash on select Ford F-150 models. Or choose financing as low as 1.9%. Plus, save on Ford's Super Duties with the biggest payloads and roomiest cabs in their class. Hurry, see your New England Ford dealers during Ford Truck Month.
Look at you.
What?
Nice.
$100.
Come on.
No, 100 with pants. It's a suit, man. Yes, pants. 300 elsewhere, easy. That suit? K&G, name of the place. Only open Friday through Sunday, in case you're wondering.
You even own a suit, Tommy?
Yes, I own a suit.
Birthday suits don't count.
How do you learn to hit like Nomar? How do you learn to field like Nomar? From Nomar. Enter the Nomar Dream Clinic sweepstakes at your local Dunkin' Donuts, and you can attend a baseball clinic with Nomar at Fenway Park. Want to hit like Nomar? Then hit Dunkin' Donuts first.
Couple of monster home runs for the Red Sox yesterday. Everett and Manny Ramirez, and Ramirez's home run was up in this area here, right above the scoreboard. That was a blast about the 4th deck, and as we swing around to see where Everett's home run was hit, it was right up in this area here above.
Well, the line is moving. It's not the line's moving, the camera's moving. Let's try it again.
Let's see. Let's show you where Everett's went. It was up here in this part of the restaurant.
Oops.
There it is, right up here, that part of the restaurant.
Third time is a charm.
But a couple of monster blasts.
Using that telestrator is a good idea. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out the way you hope. Here's Everett driving another one in the direction of that restaurant. It won't get there, and it's caught by Cruz. Everett hit a bullet, but Cruz, who's a good outfielder, able to run it down. So Carl is 0 for 2. Carpenter's been helped. A couple of line drives recently been caught. Let's check the scoreboard, brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers. As we mentioned a moment ago, New York has tied up the Indians on a Derek Jeter home run, his 5th of the year. Robbie Alomar homered in the 1st inning for Cleveland. They're 1-1 still in the bottom of the 4th. The Tigers and the White Sox playing in Chicago, getting started right now. Santos against Biddle. The Twins and the Rangers, Milton versus Helling. The Royals and the Angels, Suzuki against Ortiz. Baltimore is in Oakland, Roberts against Lytle. And Tampa Bay at Seattle, Sturts against Garcia. Freddie Garcia's 5-0. The Mariners have won 10 straight. Ramirez fouls one off his foot. Manny grounded to third his first time up. Over in the National League, the Philadelphia Phillies are in Montreal and leading 1-0 after an inning. Omar Dahl on the mound. He's 6-0 for Philadelphia. Braves and Pirates playing a doubleheader. Game 1 is underway and scoreless after an inning. Glavine against Olivares. Cubs and Brewers are just getting started. Chicago's won 12 in a row. They have Julian Tavares on the mound in Milwaukee today. The Dodgers at the Astros. Gagne against Bottenfield. Giants and the Rockies. Gardner versus Estacio. The Mets and the Marlins play at 4:05. Apier against Burnett. The Padres are at the Diamondbacks. Arizona's won 8 in a row, and they have Randy Johnson on the mound today. And tonight, in the Sunday night game, Cincinnati at St. Louis. Bell against Matthews. Cincinnati's had a rough year for Bob Boone, 21 and 33. A lot of in-house problems as well. The 0-2 from Carpenter to Ramirez. He hung one, and Manny hits another bomb to left. Where will this one land? Into the 500 level. And way up into it. Above that marker that denotes where Joe Carter hit a home run several years ago. So in a weekend series filled with long home runs, Ramirez hits one of the longest in the history of Sky Dome. He's now tied for the league lead in homers with Rodriguez and Delgado, and this one was hit a mile.
A hanging curveball from Carpenter, and I got to tell you, this is an absolute bomb.
That's just the 8th home run ever to get into the upper level of Sky Dome, the 500 level. The first since 1999, when Sean Green hit one here for Toronto off Tim Belcher of Anaheim. And Bichette drives one to deep center. That ball's way back, and that one's way out of here. Off the bottom of that restaurant, just to the left of dead center field. So back-to-back long home runs by Ramirez and Bichette. And the ball is flying out of Sky Dome this weekend. The Red Sox have quickly tied the game at 2.
Well, one thing about Carpenter, he has now allowed 12 home runs on the season, and back-to-back. It was a curveball and now a fastball to Bichette. I love Bichette's reaction after a home run.
It's his 2nd homer of the year. They stopped doing that estimated distance on the home runs here last year. Boy, you wish they'd bring it back this weekend, because there have been shots. The 2 hit yesterday by Ramirez and Everett. The ball today by Delgado, and now these 2.
The one by Ramirez is certainly the longest one that I've ever witnessed here doing games at Sky Dome.
Well, Canseco's, as I recall, got into the 500 level, but it wasn't way up in the 500 level like Manny's. That ball was right underneath the windows of the hotel at the very top of the 500 section.
He was at least 20 feet higher than Joe Carter.
And Joe Carter's home run was estimated at 483 feet. The one that's marked out there in left. Daubach gets under that one and hits a very high fly ball to left. Stewart has it, 2 outs. We're in the 4th inning home run derby here. The Red Sox and Blue Jays tied at 2. The back-to-back homers by Ramirez and Bichette. It's the 4th time this season the Red Sox have hit back-to-back home runs. Mentioned that Manny's home run, the 8th ever in Sky Dome, dating back to 1989 to get into the 500 level. Jose Canseco did it 3 times. Mark McGuire, Joe Carter, Carlos Delgado, and Sean Green the others. Valentin the third, scooped up by Batista. That ends the inning, but a memorable inning it was. 2 mammoth blasts by Ramirez and Bichette, and the Red Sox and Blue Jays are tied at 2.
Wouldn't it be nice to take a real vacation? Now you can with Southwest Airlines' new Take-Along Special. Purchase a special discounted fare by June 11th and take someone along with you for just $30 each way.
On vacation again?
You are now free to move about the country.
At Liberty Mutual Insurance, we want to help Andre Medina have the resources he needs to run his business. And Kitty Hodge to have a new friend and a brighter day. And Melissa Rodriguez to reach the ranks of management. We contribute to hundreds of nonprofit programs in Greater Boston. At Liberty Mutual, we don't just insure against bad things. We try to make good things happen too.
Just because you sit in the lap of luxury doesn't mean you have to just sit there. Lincoln LS, the best driving V8 sedan for the enthusiast dollar, according to Car and Driver. And now at the Lincoln Invitational, get 0.0% financing on every single 2001 Lincoln. Plus, Lincoln will pay your first month's payment when you buy or lease.
Home runs have been the story as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Delgado with a 2-run homer for the Jays, and back-to-back home runs for Ramirez and Dante Bichette in the top of the 4th inning. First, a bomb by Ramirez, one of the longest balls ever hit in the 5 level here at Sky Dome. Almost to the back wall.
Yeah, it's about halfway up.
And then Dante Bichette under the clock.
They've been taking aim on that restaurant this weekend. Everett had went into the open air seating up there, and Bichette hit it off the bottom of the windows. Nice play by Offerman. Cruz hit a ground ball on the right. Offerman had a long way to go to his left to throw out Cruz, who's now 1 for 2. So I guess when we come back here, they'll have Manny's number 24 with a little logo up there.
One of the things that Offerman does very well is be able to throw off balance. He gets his body in all kind of weird positions, but he's able to make a good, accurate throw to first base.
Actually, I don't think they will, because it doesn't look like they mark the spots for the opposing players hit him, just the Blue Jay guys. That's kind of homerism too, isn't it?
Just the Jays.
Tony Batista, the batter. He bounced back to Cone in the 2nd inning. Fastball up and in.
After Batista's bat, we'll show you the reaction from Dante Bichette after he hits one. I love that reaction. He's not trying to show anybody up. It's just a normal, drops the bat quick, pulls the arms in. It's one of my favorites.
Two balls and a strike.
It's only the 2nd time we have witnessed it this season. Hopefully there'll be more to come.
Yeah, I'd like to see that reaction a bit more often. Good pitch by Cone. Low and out of the strike zone. Batista chased it. 2-2. Each team with 2 runs on 4 hits. All the run scoring in this game on home runs. All 3 homers shots. And there's strike 3, a breaking ball from Cone. Fourth strikeout for David. Let's go back and get a look at Dante's reaction after he hit the game-tying home run.
Watch the bat go first and pulls those arms in. There goes the bat. Yow. Almost like he's scaring somebody. I love that one.
Almost looked like Chris Carpenter was smiling as if to say, well, if I'm going to give up home runs, at least those are two majestic beauties there.
That's what T.I. used to say. If I'm going to give one up, it's going to be a good one.
Homer Bush, the batter, he grounded to third in the second inning. You almost wish Bichette's homer hadn't come so quickly after Manny's, because I think we're all still admiring and gawking at Manny's home run. Just how long that was. That might have been the longest one ever here. I'd imagine they will estimate that one because they're going to have to add it to the list of 500 level home runs.
Well, I think that beats Canseco's.
Yeah.
I mean, that almost hit the back wall where the hotel is. Not far from that. Maybe about, what, 5 or 6 feet from that back wall?
It was close. Up by that walkway. Bush takes a strike. The 1-2 pitch. Cone dropped down a little bit. Bush wouldn't chase it.
And of course, Cone, the veteran pitcher, knows how important it is to get his team back out there and keep momentum on their side.
The 2-2. Pulled foul.
Here's where the ball hit right about here.
On those stairs just to the right, our right of the walkway there.
And that's not too far from that back wall.
Cone crowded Bush, and Bush got a hit. Fisted it up the middle softly. Offerman able to run it down by the second base bag. Good pitch by Cone. Bush just wound up with the base hit.
Actually jammed Homer Bush with the fastball inside, but is able to pull the hands in far enough to get some of the good part of the bat on it. And obviously no play there for Jose Offerman. Well, they've been running. Let's see if Bush takes off with 2 outs in the inning.
And the number 9 man, Alberto Castillo, at the plate. Castillo struck out swinging to end the second. He stranded a runner at third base.
Homer Bush is not loose enough yet. He's taking a couple of sprints down the first base line. Maybe he's got a cramp that he's trying to work out.
Bush has 2 stolen bases. He's been caught once. Has good speed. He hasn't played much this year. Spent some time in the DL. On the ground, off the glove of Offerman as he went into the dive and threw into right field. Bush all the way to third. So a couple of 2-out singles.
Looked like it was going to be a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning, and the 8 and 9 batters in the order keep this inning going. I'm not even sure Offerman maybe had to dive for that ball. Looks like when he dove, went underneath the glove. Looks like he could have made that play just standing up.
There's something wrong with Bush. He's still hurting and being tended to by the Blue Jay medical staff. Manager Buck Martinez out there as well. Third base coach Terry Bevington leaning in.
Sometimes you make that headfirst dive, you knock the wind out of yourself for a while, but we saw him in first base. running some sprints, so I don't know if he's got cramps or a slight muscle pull.
It's possible Bush has cramps. He's still bending over there. Shannon Stewart, the batter. And he lines one in the center, and the Blue Jays have the lead again. 3 straight hits with 2 outs. Again, they weren't exactly starched off Cone, but they count. And Toronto leads 3-2.
Well, that's what drives a veteran pitcher crazy. I mean, you get the team comes back with back-to-back home runs to tie the game. You get out there, you get a couple of quick outs, and 3 straight hits. That breaking ball just hung out over the middle of the plate. It was still toward the end of the bat, but good enough to drop into center field for a base hit and an RBI.
Bush had the first of the 3 straight hits. Cone jammed him. It was an infield hit. And Castillo hit that ball on the ground. It looked like Hoffman might get, but he didn't. Now that relative bloop by Stewart. And it adds up to a run and the lead again for Toronto. 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. And Alex Gonzalez at the plate. He has singled to right and struck out. Cleveland and the Yankees are in the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1 in New York. 2-0 now on Gonzalez. Well hit down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Maybe the idea is to not hit the ball so hard. They seem to have more luck in this inning when they've hit the ball softly.
Splitter on a 2-0 count that time to Gonzalez, and just out in front of it a bit. Lines it foul.
Bichette chased after that ball like he thought it was fair, even though it clearly hit that sidewall down there in foul territory. He wasn't taking any chances with the call, apparently. That's a swing on a breaking ball low and away. 2-2. Hipólito Pachardo warming up. He struck him out. But the Blue Jays reclaim the lead, a run on 3 singles, and after 4 it's 3-2 Blue Jays.
Original.
We could have boarded any flight with a deadly weapon without getting caught.
Informative.
While she was taking care of the kids, she was also taking your tax dollars.
Groundbreaking.
Why would the Institute turn its back on a potentially life-saving treatment for cancer?
Fox 25, bringing you stories that impact your life.
It can actually detect things like tumors or disease before you even know it.
Stories that you won't see anywhere else.
Would you call this security?
Absolutely not.
Fox 25. The news is on at 10.
Pedro, listen up. First off, I want you to double up your windup. I want you to do a back kick and a front kick and a pitch. Secondly, I want you to try something a little robotic. They'll be so busy looking at you doing the robot, they won't be ready for the pitch. Are you listening? When you're shaking it off sometimes, don't continue. Just pitch right from there.
Pedro Martinez doesn't need help with his pitching, but he does need help improving kids' lives. So every time you buy a McFlurry at McDonald's, 25 cents will be donated to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Eastern New England.
Up, in, and around like that. Nobody's doing that today. We do it in Dorchester. All right.
The Kia Sportage in the Paris-Dakar Rally. The most grueling race in the world. 6,200 miles, 100-degree temperatures, 21 days, and no deodorant. The 2001 Kia Sportage, thoroughly tested and backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Right now, get up to $2,500 cash back or 1.9% financing through July 2nd.
It's time to go around the bases, brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. Well, the big story in baseball right now, the Chicago Cubs riding a 12-game winning streak. They'll try to make it 13 this afternoon in Milwaukee. The 12-game win streak, their longest in 65 years. They beat the Brewers last night 10-4. They've been a very streaky team. Right before that winning streak, the Cubs had lost 8 in a row. Homer Bush seemed to be a little sore when he was on the bases, but he's out there in his position at second base as we go to the 5th. Scott Hatteberg leading off. David Cohn of the Red Sox down by a run. Shannon Stewart with the RBI single that put Toronto back on top in the 4th. The Cubs winning streak, their longest since June of 1936, when they won 15 games in a row. Of course, they haven't won the World Series in 93 years. Hatteberg fly to deep center his first time up against Chris Carpenter. 2-1 the count now on Scott. Shea Hillenbrand on deck, and then Jose Offerman. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Hatteberg hits it to deep center again, and again Cruz has room. 1 out.
They've kept Jose Cruz pretty busy out there in center field this afternoon. He made a great play on that Everett line drive. I didn't think there was any way he was going to be able to catch up to that.
Shea Hillenbrand hit a chopper on the left side for an infield hit in the 3rd. Don't forget, right after the game, NASCAR on Fox, the MBNA Platinum 400 from Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware. Just a 1-mile concrete oval. So there's usually all kinds of action with the field tightly bunched. Last year, there were 6 single-car accidents. Tony Stewart won the race last year.
I think he's won it back-to-back.
One and 2 the count. Check swing and a ball low and away. Who was your pick today? Jeff Gordon?
Jeff Gordon.
Despite all of your disparaging comments about him, you need a good performance. You're last in the season point standings right now. Pete Shurik picked Ricky Rudd, and I went with Dale Jarrett, who was on the pole this week. We'll find out right after the game who will win the MBNA Platinum 400. Hillenbrand keeping Cruz busy. 2 outs here in the 5th. Blue Jays lead 3-2. They're trying to salvage 1 win in this series and end a 4-game losing streak. Well, the Blue Jays have estimated the distance on the Manny Ramirez home run. You want to take a guess?
490 feet.
491 feet. You know, we usually say, oh, you didn't quite get all of that one. I think we can say he got all of that one.
he got all of that. That was a curveball. So that's providing all of his own power.
That would make it the longest home run in the history of this park, surpassing the 488-footer hit by Mark McGwire to left field off Huck Flenner in July of 1996.
Well, maybe once the official score hears that, he'll change that.
He'll call Mark McGwire and make sure it's okay. Offerman fouls one away. So you've watched history here today. The longest home run in the history of Sky Dome by Manny Ramirez, 491 feet. Backdoor breaking ball missed. And another foul ball from Offerman. Offerman doubled in the first inning and was stranded. Double to start the game. Skydome opened in June of 1989. And Manny's home run, the longest ever here. Down and in. Now the 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air in the left center. Cruz won't get this one. It's all the way to the wall in a couple of hops, and Offerman has his second double of the ball game.
And that's 12 doubles now for Jose on the season, and Red Sox trying to do what the Blue Jays did in the fourth inning with 2 outs, score a run. Offerman with the 2 outs to the opposite field, and Cruz will not catch this one as it's tailing away. So Offerman keeps the inning alive here with 2 outs in scoring position at second base.
Here's Trot Nixon, who hit a bullet the last time up right at the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. Trot's 0 for 2. He's also grounded to short. He takes a fastball for strike 1. 3 runs, 7 hits for Toronto. 2 runs, 5 hits for Boston. Neither team has been charged with an error. Inside, 1-1.
Nixon going into today was hitting .417 in his career against Carpenter and had that hard line drive out last time up.
Breaking ball wouldn't come down for Chris. On the inside corner, strike 2-2. Carpenter, an outstanding 2-sport athlete in high school, against Nixon, who was a great 2-sport athlete in high school, football and baseball. Nixon hits another line drive to the shortstop. Almost an instant replay of the ball Trot hit to end the third inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Blue Jays leading 3-2. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Call 1-888.
Hey! Right here! Right in the glove! Pick a glove. Any glove. I know you can hear me. Oh, yeah!
For tickets, call 617-482-4SOX or log on to redsox.com.
Dodge Dakota Quad Cab comes with a nice big bed and big back doors that lead to a great big cab. For putting things you don't want outside, inside, and vice versa. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Oops, that's better. Outside. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Big room, big doors, big difference. Now get a $2,000 cash allowance or low 0.9 financing on Dodge Dakota.
Coming up next on Fox 25, NASCAR on Fox heads to the Monster Mile at Dover Down Speedway. Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and Rusty Wallace, the 3 top drivers in the Winston Cup right now. They'll bump and grind for the series late in the Winston Cup. NASCAR on Fox coming up right after the game, right here on Fox 25. David Cone heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. He's given up 3 runs on 7 hits. 2-run homer to Carlos Delgado in the 3rd inning, and then 3 straight singles with 2 outs last inning for the Toronto runs. And the big guns coming around again for Toronto. Mondesi looked at strike 1. He singled and stole second, was stranded in the 1st inning. He walked and scored on the Delgado homer in the 3rd. All of the Toronto damage in the last 2 innings, and all of it with 2 outs. In both the 3rd and 4th innings, Cone retired the first 2 hitters before Toronto wound up scoring. The 0-2 pitch missed. Mondesi, Delgado, and Fulmer, the scheduled 3 for Toronto. Chop foul. David Cone grew up in Kansas City. Mentioned in an article by Mark Murphy in the Boston Herald today that he idolized Dennis Leonard, who was a terrific Royal starter in the late 70s. When Cone signed with the Royals in 1981, Leonard was nearing the end of his career, coming back from a knee injury. And they spent a little time together, and it was a real thrill for Cone to meet his idol and then discover that as a person, Dennis Leonard was also a terrific guy. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Mondesi. Another strikeout for Cone. That's the 6th strikeout for David.
5 of the 6 strikeouts have come on the curveball from Cone. The other was a splitter against Delgado back in the 1st inning. Again, working the outside part of that plate with the curveball, and much better today. Only the 1 walk so far for Cone. He always gives up a lot of hits. That really has been his history.
Delgado check swing tapper down the line. That's going to work out for him. Hillenbrand throws it away. Terrible decision to even throw the ball, and then he threw it over the head of Dahlbach. Throw to second, not in time. Hillenbrand had no chance to get Delgado, and he certainly wasn't going to get it with a half-hearted throw. He just threw a lob over the first, way over the head of Dahlbach.
A very poor decision by the young player at 3rd base. That's a gimme. That's just a base hit. When you have the shift on like that, and he checks his swing and hits a ball down the line, you really got no chance at all to get him. Hillenbrand charges and right here decides to let it go, and he had absolutely no chance to get him at 1st base. And that's going to cost a Blue Jay runner to get in scoring position. Here's where you pick it up and you put it in your pocket. Hillenbrand picks up his 9th error on the season.
He leads the Red Sox in that department. It's a hit for Delgado, and then the error allowing him to go to second base. First error of the game by either team. Brad Fulmer, the batter, 1 strike to count. He's grounded out twice. Another guy who's been in a little slump lately, bothered by that lower leg injury. Fulmer. Valentin dancing around behind Delgado at second, trying to keep him close. Well hit, base hit into right. They're going to hold the runner at 3rd with 1 out. And Nixon airmails everybody, and that allows Fulmer to go to second base. The Red Sox with a little extra oomph in some of these throws in the field in this inning. Nixon not only missed the cutoff man, he missed Hatteberg, and Cone had to back it up. So that's a single for Fulmer. And he goes to second on the errant throw to the plate. They've not posted an error on that.
Now, Red Sox getting sloppy here in this inning. A couple of ill-advised throws. Obviously, Nixon had to go home thinking the run might score, but you've got to try to hit that cutoff man. If you hit the cutoff man, you keep the double play in order. Now they're going to have to intentionally walk Cruz to get to Batista.
Cruz 1 for 2 today. He is singled and grounded out. This will be the second walk issued by Cone, the first intentional walk. They'll try to turn a double play with Batista up there, a right-handed hitter. Blue Jays lead 3-2 and looking to add to that lead here in the 5th inning. Cleveland and the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 1. Paulo Pichardo still warming up in the bullpen. Joe Kerrigan is on his way to the mound. Some interesting comments by David Cone in that article in the Herald today. He's talking about this Red Sox team. Of course, David's been around a lot of successful teams, some that weren't as successful, but he knows what it takes to win, be part of a winning team. David was quoted as saying, "I can sense the uneasiness in a lot of the players here, particularly about their roles and how this is all going to play out. But this team also has a lot of depth, which you need. You also need guys to check their egos at the door. And that can be a difficult thing for a team that's trying to win. You have to get them to buy into it. Most guys are worried about their careers." I think he has pretty good perspective on the reality of the Red Sox situation right now.
He hasn't been around here very long, and he's got a
figured it out.
Pretty good idea what's going on. Now, we've talked about it a number of times, and again, it's a case that it's a team built on a lot of full-time players.
Here's Batista, who's bounced back to the mound and struck out. Check swing. It was not a swing, said Andy Fletcher. 1-0 on Batista. The infield back at double play depth. The outfield straight away. Cone working from the stretch. And he missed again.
If he were to be able to have some success with the Red Sox, get a few wins under his belt, he would speak out more, I think, in the clubhouse. He's that type of guy that's not afraid to confront somebody and make comments like he made in the newspaper to their face.
Swing and a miss.
But when you're fighting for your life, your professional life, and that's what David Cone is really doing right now, you really don't have much to say.
And as he says, until you really win and feel like you're contributing to the team,
right,
you can't really feel like it's your place to speak up and say much.
It's like Saberhagen a year ago.
The 2-1 pitch. Popped up. Straight up. Hatterberg with room behind the plate. 2 outs.
Well, not the ground ball double play to get out of the inning, but certainly the next best thing, a pop up and keep those bases loaded, but now with 2 outs. Once again, Cone goes to that breaking ball, and that looked like a pretty good one to hit. But Batista really never got himself squared away with the pitcher that time, almost like he was bailing out. Probably trying to hit a grand slam.
Here's Homer Bush with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 3-2 Toronto in the 5th. He was spinning out of the way of a pitch that looked pretty good to hit. That was a breaking ball that hung over the inside part of the plate.
It's one of the few today that Cone has thrown directly at the hitter and tried to catch the inside corner. Most of them have been away from these right-handed hitters.
Bush had an infield hit, the first of the 3 straight singles last inning. He scored the go-ahead run. You wonder if he's meant to throw those last 2 up and in there, or if they've just kind of rolled out of his hand up and in.
I don't think the last one, maybe the first one, but certainly not that last pitch. That one just slipped.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And a pitch low and away. already worked out of a couple of jams. You get out of this jam, he'd make Hillenbrand feel a lot better. Delgado the runner at third, Fulmer at second, Cruz at first. Well, 1-2 to Bush. Hit in the air in foul ground. It'll be close to the seats. Daubach has room, and Cone is out of the difficulty. The Blue Jays leave the bases loaded. They've left 8 men on base now, 6 of them in scoring position. After 5, 3-2 Toronto.
Beer is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This Bud's for you. And you and you and you. This Bud's for you.
In this period of ever-increasing gasoline prices, Honda would like to humbly remind you that the Accord was rated by the EPA as a leader in fuel economy in its midsize class. The Accord from Honda. Funny how things just always seem to work out for the best. For a limited time, get special APR financing as low as 3.9% for 36 months on new Accords.
It's not working.
The key to life is what you add to it. Gorelick Farms. Add something.
3-2 Toronto as we head to the 6th inning in the final game of this 4-game series. We hope you'll be tuned into Sports Sunday tonight at 10:30 here on Fox 25. Among the topics, an update on Terry Glenn and the Patriots wide receiver situation. The two faces of Pedro Martinez, game day and off day. And Jeff Horrigan of the Boston Herald will be in studio with Butch Stearns to talk about the Red Sox. Jeff, a terrific beat writer covering the Red Sox for the Herald.
He's got to loosen up a little bit, though. When he gets to that table, how they go to the table, seems awful stiff there. You just got to kind of loosen up a little.
Everyone's a TV critic. Have you offered that suggestion to Jeff?
No, but I will. I just thought about it because I saw him on there a few weeks back, and he's got to relax a little. He just looks too stiff.
Well, there's another Jerry Remy fan. And we said earlier in the year the best way to get on TV is to make a sign about Jerry Remy, because you always make sure that our director shows all of the signs that have your name on them. These people took that advice to heart, and it works. 1-2 the count.
A lot of Red Sox fans up in that Skydome Hotel all weekend. A couple of interesting ones yesterday.
Yes, there were. Details shall be omitted from this broadcast. Everett strikes out. Carpenter got him to chase a high fastball. Third strikeout for the New Hampshire native. You do spend about 3/4 of the game on your talkback button in the truck saying, John, Russ, there's another sign with my name on it, right field. Over there, section 8. Further to the right. There it is. Now that's okay. Well, there it is. He may not know NASCAR, but he sure knows baseball.
Not sure about either one of those things.
Manny Ramirez, the batter. Last time up, he hit the longest home run in the history of this ballpark, dating back to 1989, estimated at 491 feet. A solo homer with one out in the 4th to left field, almost all the way up to the windows of the hotel. Carpenter gripped that fastball a bit too long. If you just tuned in, here's a look at the historic home run. Off the steps, just to the right of the walkway. That one might have to go through customs. 2-1 the count on Ramirez. Then Bichette with a home run right after the Ramirez homer in the 4th. That's all the Red Sox damage to Chris Carpenter so far today. Another high fastball. He's had success with the high fastballs in this inning. That one at 93 miles per hour as he threw it past Manny.
One of the few times, too, you see Ramirez chase a high fastball out of the strike zone.
Two-two pitch. Outside, another fastball. Three-two pitch. He got him with a breaking ball after throwing him several fastballs. He mixed in the off-speed delivery, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Chris Carpenter.
Well, obviously Ramirez thinking about the fastball, because that's the same pitch that he hit for the home run the last time up. After a bunch of fastballs high, fastballs away, goes to the curveball and completely fooled Ramirez with that pitch. He got the old jelly leg reaction from Manny on that.
2 outs. The bases are empty. Here's Dante Bichette. He homered. So center field, a little bit left of straightaway center field. Right after the Ramirez homer in the 4th. Dante popped out the catcher and foul ground back in the 2nd. Inside, 1-1. Ramirez in. Dante Bichette with interesting reactions to the Bichette home run. Pulled foul.
Broken bat for Bichette, and looks like he got the Castillo on the backswing.
Here's an interesting fact. Since the start of the 1995 season, Dante Bichette has more hits than any player in Major League Baseball.
Second time I saw that graph, I couldn't believe it the first time that I looked at it.
I don't think many people would put Garrett Anderson in the top 3 either.
Yeah, that's another surprise.
The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out, and Carpenter strikes out the side. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Everett, Ramirez, and Bichette. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-2 Toronto.
This is the machine that we use right here. This is an embalming machine.
And you use formaldehyde in your embalming?
Yes, we do.
Is formaldehyde a safe product?
No, it's not. I believe it's a cancer-causing agent.
You didn't know that formaldehyde was in secondhand smoke?
No, I didn't.
What if I was taking a big whiff of that every day?
It would probably do some serious damage.
Cancer?
Probably.
Death?
Probably.
Tobacco companies really don't care much about that, though, I guess.
No.
The 2 things I'm proudest of in my life is that I became a Marine pilot. And equally as important, equally as satisfying, equally as proud of, was that I became a member of Baseball's Hall of Fame.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. The Baseball Hall of Fame. Visit us on the web at baseballhalloffame.org or call 888-HALL-OF-FAME.
When it comes to bestsellers, your New England Ford dealers are leading the pack with 5 of the top 10 in America. And now, during Ford Truck Month, get up to $2,000 cash back on Ford Ranger. Or choose APR financing as low as 0.9%. The built Ford Tough Ranger, the best-selling compact pickup in America, is now even better, with up to $2,000 cash back or as low as 0.9 financing. Hurry! See your New England Ford dealers during Ford Truck Month.
Bottom of the 6th inning from Skydome. The Blue Jays have the 3-2 lead, and David Cohn's afternoon will be finished after his 5 innings. And Kind of the forgotten man in the Red Sox bullpen. Only 3 appearances for Machado, and he has struggled in those 3 games. He's worked 2 innings, allowed a couple of earned runs, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. The last time he worked was against his former club, Kansas City, and that was back at the 20th of May.
And he says he doesn't feel good right now. It's tough when you're not pitching regularly. He jokes that some of the other bullpen members have been referring to him as the bullpen coach because he sits out there in the bullpen every day but doesn't pitch. David Cone went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs earned on 8 hits, including a home run. He walked 2. One of those was an intentional walk. He struck out 6. Threw a wild pitch. He threw 94 pitches, 56 strikes.
We were talking, Sean, between innings. All in all, a pretty good performance, I thought, by Cone. A couple of those hits weren't exactly scorched.
Yeah, the home run was crushed by Delgado, but other than that, weren't too many loud noises made. He did throw strikes. Mixed his pitches pretty well. There's some who thought if he didn't have a good start today, there might be some question about whether there would be another start. But you'd have to think with this performance, he'll get another start.
I would think so. If he pitches like that, he'll win some games. Got out of that bases loaded jam last inning.
Machad's first pitch, a ball to Alberto Castillo. He has struck out and single to right. Strike, 1-1. Machado in to face the number 9 hitter Castillo, then the top of the order Stewart and Gonzalez. Blue Jays trying to add to their 3-2 lead. I believe I said Cone gave up 8 hits. He gave up 9 hits in just 5 innings. Little pop up, that'll be into the crowd. Let's pause for station identification on the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
You're watching WFXT Fox 25 Boston, home of the Red Sox.
A 1-2 from Pichardo. It was hit in the air in shallow center. Everett under it. 1 out.
I think these Red Sox players, even though they've had a great amount of success this weekend, will be happy to get off this turf. Long 4-game series here over the weekend in Toronto, and stuff starts to really beat you up. The sore back, sore legs. I think they'll appreciate getting back on a natural surface tomorrow night at Yankee Stadium.
Shannon Stewart almost fouled another one off his foot. Went down hard after fouling a ball off his foot earlier. He is grounded to short, grounded to third, and he singled to center with 2 outs in the 4th to knock in the run that made it 3-2 Toronto. It's still 3-2 Blue Jays here in the 6th inning. The ball up and in, 1-1. Today's telecast produced by Russ Ken, directed by John Wilson, our associate producer David Corus. Two and 1. That's well hit to right and deep. Nixon looking up. That ball's gone. An opposite field line drive home run for Shannon Stewart. And the Blue Jays lead 4-2.
Well, a couple of home runs in this series for Shannon Stewart, this time to the opposite field. That open stance, the ball right over the heart of the plate, and Stewart with the line drive home run over that wall in right field. So it's been Shannon Stewart and Carlos Delgado today, the offensive stars for the Blue Jays.
Each with 2 runs batted in. Alex Gonzalez is the hitter. Stewart accepts the congratulations of his teammates in the Toronto dugout on the third base side. Gonzalez has singled and struck out twice. He takes the ball low. A homer by Stewart, his 5th of the season. Toronto's 78th home run in 56 games.
Second in the league, Shen. I think Texas leads the American League. Texas has 85 home runs.
Two-1 to Gonzalez, taken for a strike. He'll be followed by Raul Mondesi. Swing and a miss. So that's the 3rd straight time Gonzalez has struck out. And the first strikeout of the day from Pichardo.
And all 3 times have been on a breaking ball. The curveball from Cone for 2 strikeouts. Now the slider from Pichardo for the 3rd strikeout in a row. 1 for 4 with 3 punch-outs.
Here's Raul Mondesi, who has singled, walked, and struck out. He scored on the Delgado home run after he walked in the 3rd inning. Stole second after he singled in the 1st. 1-0 on Mondesi. Four to 2 Toronto. Well, hitting the Red Sox 10-5. Mondesi sends it right back here. Just off to our right. Very hard to get one into the booth here, but that one had a chance.
Had a chance, yeah. Just dropped just below us.
One pitch. Hit right back to Pichardo. He throws him out. That ends the inning, but Toronto adds a run on the home run by Stewart after 6. 4-2 Blue Jays.
Just because you sit in the lap of luxury doesn't mean you have to just sit there. Lincoln LS, the best driving V8 sedan for the enthusiast dollar, according to Car and Driver. And now at the Lincoln Invitational, get 0.0% financing on every single 2001 Lincoln. Plus, Lincoln will pay the first month's payment.
Throughout time, mankind's development has been truly awe-inspiring. And now, the next advancement is upon us. The Verizon Yellow Pages is becoming the Verizon Super Pages. Now, the directory found in more homes can even be accessed online or on the go. Verizon Super Pages. Better pages for better decisions. Verizon.
How do you learn to hit like Nomar? How do you learn to field like Nomar? From Nomar. Enter the Nomar Dream Clinic sweepstakes at your local Dunkin' Donuts, and you can attend a baseball clinic with Nomar at Fenway Park. Want to hit like Nomar? Then hit Dunkin' Donuts first.
Heading to the late innings, the Red Sox trailing 4-2. Their 4-game win streak in jeopardy. Shannon Stewart's home run just extended the lead by 1. Meanwhile, Chris Carpenter just struck out the side in the top of the 6th. He goes to work against Brian Daubach and throws a breaking ball up and away. Daubach has struck out and fly to left. Carpenter's fan 5. They've come in bunches. He got Daubach and Valentin back-to-back to win the 2nd. Didn't have another strikeout until last inning when he got Everett, Ramirez, and Bichette in a row. Chris has not given up a walk. He has yielded 5 hits. The 1-1 pitch just inside. They could use a long outing from him today, but how busy their bullpen has been in this series. Dahlbach swinging for the downs, foul tipped one.
Yeah, had the complete game shut. 100 pitches in that game.
Fastball just missed. The count is full. He's still throwing hard. That fastball in the mid-90s, 95 miles per hour. Payoff pitch to Dahlbach. Fouled back.
See many changeups today from Carpenter, mostly fastball, curveball, and changeups at times is one of his best pitches. Hasn't needed that pitch very often this afternoon.
Dahlbach pulls one foul. Carpenter nearing 100 pitches now. Excellent ratio of strikes to balls. 61 strikes. Another foul ball from Dahlbach. Dennis Eckersley, the former Red Sox pitcher, was here earlier in the series working on the Red Sox radio with Joe Castiglione. Jerry Trupiano was away for a couple of days at his son's graduation from high school. And Dennis Eckersley was calling Dahlbach Abraham Lincoln because of that beard. We want to congratulate Brian Trupiano not only on his graduation from Bishop Fien, but he led his league in hitting this year. Hit 491 for Bishop Fien. His dad is more than a little bit proud of that. Brian's a very nice young man. Dahlbach fouled one off his foot. And on that subject, if I could briefly congratulate my sister Cara on her graduation from Notre Dame Academy in Hingham today. She's on her way to Harvard.
Wow.
In the fall.
Is that right?
Yes. Where that came from, I have no idea.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
And Will McDonough yesterday received an honorary degree. We have to call him Dr. McDonough from UMass Boston.
Big weekend.
Big weekend in the McDonough household. Academic successes all over the place. We want to thank our good pal Dr. Mike Foley, the icon of medicine, one of the Red Sox doctors who was at the ceremony at UMass Boston yesterday and held the phone up to the speaker and put it on my inch machine at home so I could hear.
Oh, got to hear the whole speech.
Remarks. Well, he didn't speak, but I could hear what they said about him as they gave him the degree, and it was very nice and well deserved. Ball 4. Great battle by Dahlbach. Carpenter, after watching Dahlbach foul away several 3-2 pitches, went to a breaking ball and missed. So that's the first walk given up by Chris Carpenter. And the Red Sox get the tying run to the plate here in the 7th inning, down 4-2. Pedro Borbon warming up. John Valentin at the plate. Apparently inside. 1-0 on Valentin, who was struck out and grounded to third. In the hole, just out of the reach of Batista and through into left field. Valentin has a hit, and the Red Sox have the tying run on here with nobody out. And let's see how Jimmy Williams will play it with Hatteberg coming up there.
I would think that he would let Hatteberg swing away in this situation. You get the right-handed Hillenbrand on deck. Hannenberg's hit a couple of balls pretty decent towards center field this afternoon.
He is twice flying to deep center. 0 for 2. Batista step in front of the bag at third. Delgado even with the bag at first. Carpenter started Hatteberg with a breaking ball for strike one. No sign of a bunt. The middle of the infield at double play depth. The outfield plays him the pole. A little bit of extra room in left center for Hatteberg. Line to left, another hit. Daubach will be held at third as Stewart gets it back in quickly. It's off the glove of the cutoff man Batista and into the dugout. A huge break for the Red Sox. 2 runs will score to tie the game, and Hatteberg is awarded third base. Throw was a little offline toward the pitcher's mound, but handleable certainly for Batista, but it deflected off his glove. Went into the Red Sox dugout. The Red Sox would have the bases loaded and nobody out without a run in. Instead, they have 2 runs in and a man at third. It's a tie game. What a huge play this is.
Well, Batista had to jump for that, but that's certainly a ball that he should have handled. And once it deflected off his glove right into the Red Sox dugout, you see Carpenter backing up the play. He's doing his job. He can't believe what happened on that. Just a normal throw to home plate that should have been cut off, and 2 runs come home.
And now Hillenbrand lines one to center. Cruz caught it. Hatteberg tags and comes to the plate with the go-ahead run. Very nice catch by Cruz. Buck Martinez wants him to appeal that Hatteberg left early at third base. And Dale Scott says no, he didn't. So the Red Sox have the lead on a sacrifice fly by Shea Hillenbrand. And we talk about all the things that have gone wrong lately for the Blue Jays, but the play with the ball going off Batista's glove into the dugout, I mean, if that's not a clear indication of how their fortunes have been of late, I don't know what is.
Well, both teams have been a little sloppy defensively in this game. In the inning where the Red Sox, Hillenbrand threw that ball over first base when he really didn't have a play. He's able to come back now, get that sacrifice fly to center field, and give the Red Sox the lead. How quickly things have changed here at Skydome.
Red Sox lead 5-4. Similar to the other games in this series, Jerry, in the late innings, everything seems to go right for the Red Sox. They get the timely hit. They make the play when they need it, and nothing seems to go right for the Blue Jays.
Carpenter coming off his strongest inning where he struck out the side, the meat of the Red Sox batting order. Then he led off with the walk to Brian Daubach, who put up a heck of a battle. And then the 2 base hits, and of course the bad error. Who'd they give the error to, Sean? You know?
I don't know. We're still waiting to find that out. Ball 4 to Offerman. So 2 walks in the inning. And here comes Buck Martinez. Not to be forgotten, Jerry, the great at bat by Daubach to get this inning started. 3-2. He fouled away a number of pitches, 12 pitches in all in the at bat.
Yep.
And Buck Martinez out with the hook. Well, Chris Carpenter departs. It came apart quickly for him. Not entirely of his own doing here in the 7th inning. The Red Sox lead 5-4. Pedro Borbon, the new pitcher, when we come back.
Whether you're high-rolling business associates.
Hi, Chuck.
Brad, great to see you. Or just old buddies.
Go, go, ooka, ooka, friends to the end, no matter how we look up.
You're gonna love Southwest Airlines' new Take-Along Special. Purchase a special discounted fare by June 11th and take someone along with you for just $30.
You are now free to move about the country.
At Liberty Mutual Insurance, we want Wayne Gazelle to lift with his back in the right position, and Jimmy Roberts to know what to do if his bus starts to slide, and Tim Mursicki to learn the facts about drinking and driving. So we have safety programs for all of them, and a commitment to safety that goes back almost 90 years. At Liberty Mutual, we don't just insure against bad things. We try to keep bad things from happening at all.
Controversial gene research has led scientists to unlock the secrets of DNA. What they discovered is something many of us have suspected all along. This is the mother of all trucks. Now get up to $2,000 cash allowance or low APR financing on Dodge Ram.
Back at Skydome, the Red Sox have taken a 5-4 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. A very strange inning. Pedro Borbon coming on for the 25th time. He worked on June 1st against the Red Sox, retiring 6 straight with a couple of strikeouts. He has now retired 10 straight over his last 4 outings.
Offerman at first. Nixon, the first batter to face Bourbon, who slings ball 1 low and away. Tried to hit the ball hard a couple of times today. He's twice lined out to the shortstop, Gonzalez. Carl Everett on deck. 5-4 Boston. The Red Sox have scored 3 times here in the 7th to take the lead. Offerman runs, and he is out. Terrific tag by Gonzalez. The throw was a little bit off the mark from Castillo toward the right field side of the bag. Gonzalez made a running catch of the errant throw and dropped the tag down on Offerman to get him just before Jose reached the bag.
Well, Offerman, who has not stolen many bases, only 1 this season, and here a bad break. That throw is a terrible throw moving away, but the tag is able to get on his shoulder before the foot hits the bag. And you're right, John, a very nice play by Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop.
For now, on that ball hit by Hatteberg, they've charged the error to the left fielder, Shannon Stewart.
Well,
but they, after they caucus, the players, the Blue Jay players after the game, let them have a team vote on what the scoring should be. It'll likely be changed.
It was a little bit high, and there's no question that Batista had to jump for it, but it's not like he had to, you know, sky like Michael Jordan to make the catch on it.
Nixon hit by the breaking ball, so he's aboard with 2 outs now. And here comes Carl Everett, 0 for 3 today. Takes the ball high.
The other thing, too, is if he doesn't try to cut the ball off, it just bounces 1 hop to the catcher.
Yes, and the Red Sox have the bases loaded with no runs in. Instead, they got 2 runs in on that play and a man at third. One and 1 the count on Everett. Up and away.
One more look at that throw from Shannon Stewart. No question he has to jump, but not that high. And that's a ball that should have been handled by Batista, and he's the one that deflected it into the Red Sox dugout.
It even looked like if he just took another step or so, he wouldn't have even been that hard to catch. Everett hits it to short. The flip from Gonzalez to Bush to force Nixon and end the inning, but the Red Sox get 3. And Buck Martinez is wondering, can I go back to the broadcast booth? 5-4 at the 7th inning stretch.
Fox Sunday. What's Homer doing during long downloads?
I've been sitting on the toilet all the live long day.
A high-tech Simpsons. And be there for Malcolm's most embarrassing moment ever.
You play a fairy? Not just any fairy. He's the biggest fairy in the whole play.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Then it was the season that changed everything. This Sunday.
I'm pregnant.
See how it all began. The X-Files.
Begins tonight at 8 on Fox 25.
Do you realize people spend billions of dollars on machines to increase productivity? However, this piece of equipment not only increases productivity, but could make you less irritable and gives you more energy. A good night's sleep produces results.
Your perfect automobile. Imagine it. The seats cool you when you're hot and warm you when you're cold. The air you breathe is possibly the purest anywhere. The sounds you hear are some of the finest in the world. The all-new Lexus LS 430. You don't have to imagine anymore. See your Lexus dealer now.
Isn't it time you throw out that old ripped T-shirt? These worn-out running shoes. Those bald tires. Or this sagging old mattress. It's time for a good night's sleep.
Seventh inning stretch here in Toronto. The Red Sox trying for a 4-game sweep of the Blue Jays. Have come from behind again to take a 5-4 lead. The lead they hand over to Pete Shurik.
Shurik with a couple of left-handers coming up, and Delgado and Fulmer gets the call for the 20th time this season, and the second in 2 days. He picked up the win here yesterday, working a third of an inning and had a strikeout.
Now Hippolyto Pichardo in his first outing in a couple of weeks in position to pick up a win. He gave up 1 run on 1 hit to Stuart Homer in his 1 inning of relief. Pichardo struck out 1.
And this is 2 hitters, maybe 3 and out for Shurik.
The lefties Delgado and Fulmer, and then the switch hitter Cruz coming up. There is action in the Red Sox bullpen. Rich Garces is throwing. Delgado 2 for 3 today. He's hit a 2-run homer and had an infield single. There's Garces. Good pitch by Shurik. Shift on again for Delgado. The 3 infielders on the right. Just Hillenbrand on the left side of the infield. Last time a check swing roller down the third base line for the infield hit for Delgado. There's the crowd on the right. 0-2 the count now on Carlos Delgado. Cleveland has taken a 2-1 lead over the Yankees. They're in the 8th inning now in New York. Bottom of the 8th. Cleveland 2, New York 1. The 0-2 pitch pulled foul.
Well, it'd be a great day if the Red Sox could win this game against the Blue Jays. If Cleveland beats the Yankees and the Red Sox go into Yankee Stadium with Pedro pitching tomorrow.
No, here in Toronto, they're not going to allow that. Red Sox last swept a 4-game series in Toronto in August of 1995.
No sweeps allowed, eh?
Swing and a miss. Shurik tied him up with the fastball over the inside corner. 1 out here in the 7th.
Showed him a bunch of breaking balls, curveballs early in the count, and then when Delgado may be expecting to see another curveball, instead he gets that fastball down and in. And that's one you don't want to miss with, though. You make sure it's inside. Think this guy lifts weights? Look at those guns.
Brad Fulmer. 1 for 3, a single to right in the 5th inning. He hits that in the air and right. Nixon dives and makes the catch. Looked like Trot was fooled by it for a moment. He thought it was going to be deeper than it was. He was circling it for a while, but finally he came charging in and made the sliding catch for the 2nd out.
It just didn't sound right coming off the bat, and I think that's what fooled Nixon. He thought, as you mentioned, Sean, it was going to be hit deeper than what it actually was, and Trot had to readjust and makes the catch just before hitting the turf. Get a few rug burns from that.
Now Jose Cruz Jr., the switch hitter, batting from the right. He's been a better hitter left-handed, so Shurik stays in the ball game, and Cruz rips one up the middle. Out of the reach of Valentin. Cruz, a big turn before he slammed the brakes on as Everett fielded it cleanly in the gap in left center. So a 2-out hit for Toronto. That's going to do it for Shurik. With the right-handed hitters Batista, Bush, Castillo, Stewart, Gonzalez, Mondesi all in a row. The lefty will be lifted after 2/3 of an inning. Rich Garces, the new pitcher, when we come back.
Right here, right now.
It's time for Toyota's National Sales Event. Now get special leases on Tacoma 4x4, just $199 a month for 48 months with $18.99 due at signing. Or buy an SR5 Extra Cab and save up to $1070. Or you could save thousands with special low financing on Tacoma and Tundra, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy for the second straight year. Toyota's National Sales Event at your New England Toyota dealer. Hurry, it ends June 4th.
It takes a special event for some guys to get rid of their gray hair. But for other guys, every day of their life is special. And they live it with Just for Men. More than a hair color, it's a hair rejuvenator. Just for Men gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes. Its vitamin-enriched formula brings back a thicker, healthier, natural look. Every day of your life is special. Live it with Just for Men.
Introducing Dunkin' Donuts Coolata Whirlwinds. Coolata like you've never seen before.
Stop by Dunkin' Donuts for our new Coolata Whirlwinds. Your favorite Coolata with cookie pieces mixed in.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Celebrating 30 years of freedom, 30 years, one mission, low fares. And by Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance, it's insurance in action. 5-4 Red Sox. 2 outs and runner at first in the Toronto half of the 7th inning. And the Red Sox 4th pitcher of the day is Rich Garces.
Garces worked also in the ball game yesterday, an inning, a walk, and a strikeout against the Blue Jays, making his 3rd appearance of this 4-game series. Overall for Rich is 22nd of the year and a record of 1-0.
Nate Shurik pitched 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a hit and he struck out one. He's responsible for the runner Cruz at first. Tony Batista. Cruz running. He got a very good jump. No chance for Hatteberg. So now the tying run is in scoring position. Cruz with his 7th steal this year without being caught.
First pitch, a lot of times we see Jimmy Williams pitch out on the first pitch, but not this time, and an excellent jump by Jose Cruz. No chance at all for Scott Hatteberg.
Well, Joe Kerrigan says stolen bases are overrated and they are only important if you don't get the hitter out. So Garces will turn his attention to Batista and try to make the stolen base meaningless.
Well, to me, that's an important stolen base. You get in a scoring position with 2 outs.
A good RBI man at the plate. Batista ducks out of the way of a breaking ball that had the plate. 2-1. For Boston, 5 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. For Toronto, 4 runs, 11 hits, and 1 very big error. And once again, the game will be decided by the bullpens. Breaking ball low. The Red Sox bullpen has been much better than the Toronto bullpen in the first 3 games of this series. There's Bush on deck. Slashing, swing and a miss.
It really has been a steady diet of curveballs all day long to Bautista. First, David Cone got him 3 times with a curveball, and And Goss is staying with the breaking pitch against Batista.
The 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground in the hole on the left. Valentin keeps it in the infield and keeps the runner Cruz at third base. An infield hit for Batista. Now the tying run is at third and the go-ahead run at first for the Blue Jays with 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Well, a big play by John Valentin just to make this play on the backhand and keep that tying run from scoring. You see that Cruz was off with the pitch. It didn't pull Hillenbrand out of position. He just stayed at third base. He cannot make the play with the dive, and Valentin to the backhand to keep that ball out of the outfield.
Buck Martinez has called back Homer Bush, and Brian Simmons is going to hit for him. He's a switch hitter. The Red Sox don't have another lefty in the bullpen. So Simmons will come up to bat. Hitting 197 for the season, but he's had a good series, including a home run, his second of the year. He's driven in 6 runs for the season. He's just 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Most frequently used pinch hitter by Buck Martinez. Both of these teams have been dreadful in pinch hitting this year. Simmons has had the big series, 5 for 11 with the homer, and 3 of his 6 runs batted in for this season have come in this series. Toronto 3 for 21 for the year in pinch hitting, and the Red Sox are 0 for 26. So between the two of them, they're 3 for 47.
Generally, when a pinch hitter comes to the plate, you get a visit from the pitching coach to go over the scouting report on the pinch hitter.
Here's Simmons. He started yesterday in center field, went 1 for 3 with a double and a run batted in. Was the left fielder Friday night, went 3 for 5, including the 2-run homer off Frank Castillo. That 3-hit ball game matched his career high. It was the 3rd time in his career he'd hit 3 hits in 1 game. Fastball from Garces for a strike. Another 2-out threat for the Blue Jays. Cruz and Batista, 3rd and 1st respectively. A ball, 1-1. Martinez hoping that history will repeat itself. In the 3rd inning, the first 2 Toronto batters were retired, but then they scored 2 runs. A pitch in the dirt. They will score with 2 outs. Actually, it's off his foot. A big break for the Red Sox because Cruz will have to go back to third base. Simmons hit by the pitch, breaking ball off the foot that loads the bases, but it's still a 5-4 Red Sox lead. And they're calling Castillo back for another pinch hitter.
Yeah, the curveball right off the left foot of Brian Simmons, and that is a break for the Red Sox. That'll return that man Cruz to third. But now the base is loaded with 2 outs.
Toronto got 2 runs after 2 men were out in the 3rd inning. They saw the first 2 men retired in the 4th inning and then had 3 straight singles to score again. They're trying to do it again here in the 7th. The first 2 men retired. Now 3 men in a row have reached base. And Darren Fletcher is coming up to pinch hit for Castillo. Fletcher has had a disappointing season so far. He's hitting only .211 with 3 homers and 18 runs batted in. He's 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter. He had a great chance to win the ball game for them in the 10th inning on Friday night, and they loaded the bases in a tie game with 1 out, and he grounded into a double play in game 2 of this series.
Started by Mike Lansing. He'll get it home to Jason Varitek. Varitek with the pivot. And the big double play. Of course, the Red Sox went on to win that ball game.
Fletcher 2 for his last 23. He remains one of the hardest men in the league to strike out. Third in the league and hardest to fan. A strikeout only every 13.4 at bats. He's hit into more double plays than anybody in the league. That's not a factor right now. With 2 outs, he's grounded into 11 double plays. Infield back, outfield plays in the full. Another ball in the dirt. Garces behind Fletcher. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's like 2 off-speed pitches from Garces to start out with. A couple of splitters.
High and away, 3-0. Another ball and it's a tie game. No place to put Fletcher. A 3-0 pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Fletcher said he was so despondent when he hit that double play grounder the other night. He was in a fog running down the line. Doesn't even remember it. He hits it to short. Valentin to Offerman for the out. Valentin threw a little bit of a changeup, but got it there in time, and the Blue Jays leave the bases loaded again. They've now left 11 men on, 8 in scoring position. After 7 innings, 4-3 Toronto. This is the Fox 25 Red Sox Network. Now, Torrey Bryden and Steve Avison at the Fox 25 News Desk.
Thank you, Sean. Here's what's coming up tonight at 10.
After the shooting death of Jose Pineda at the hands of Boston police, officers attend an East Boston church asking the Latin American community for patience.
And thousands of people hit the Boston streets walking and running their way to a cure for the AIDS epidemic.
Potentially severe thunderstorms moving through the Bay State at this hour. I'll keep track of those and have the forecast for the rest of the week at 10.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Join us tonight after the X-Files on Fox 25 News at 10. I'm Tori Ryder.
And I'm Steve Avison. Enjoy the rest of the game.
I'm Jody Applegate. Beginning Monday, June 4th, you can get your news at a new time, 4:30. You'll get all the day's news, plus real information on issues you care about, like parenting, health, and education. It's a new time and a new choice for local news.
When it comes to bestsellers, your New England Ford dealers are leading the pack with 5 of the top 10 in America. And now, during Ford Truck Month, get an extra $500 cash back for a total of $1,500 cash on select Ford F-150 models. Or choose financing as low as 1.9%. Plus, save on Ford's Super Duties with the biggest payloads and roomiest cabs in their class. Hurry, see your New England Ford dealers during Ford Truck Month.
Excuse me, can I join you?
We're kind of busy right now.
The Whopper says beauty is in the taste buds of the beholder. Try the tasty Italian chicken sandwich.
In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by McDonald's. We love to see you smile. Five to 4, the Red Sox still have the lead here in the top of the 8th inning, and some changes for the Blue Jays. Jeff Fry will take over at second base for Homer Bush. Darren Fletcher, who just grounded out, will take over behind the plate. And on the mound will be right-hander Kelvin Escobar, making his 25th appearance. He's working on back-to-back losses in the last 2 games he's worked, and the most recent against the Red Sox on May 31st. An inning and 2/3 in that game, a couple of hits and 3 earned runs. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. So the Red Sox getting out of the jam, and a very close play at second base on the force play. Valentin to Offerman to get the pinch hit of Fletcher and keep the Red Sox at the 5-4 lead. Looked like Valentin really did not get much on that throw at all, and a very close play at second base.
So Escobar ready to go to work. To Manny Ramirez. Ball 1 inside. Manny's 1 for 3 with the memorable home run to left in the 4th inning, the longest home run in the history of Sky Dome, estimated at 491 feet. Into the 500 level in straightaway left field. Rod Beck warming up in the Boston bullpen. Pedro Borbon pitched 2/3 of an inning, hit a batter. There's a base hit to right. Another multiple hit game for Manny.
27 now for Ramirez on the season, one behind Ichiro of Seattle, who has 28, and I would have to say that Manny is back on target.
I would say you are correct, sir.
490-foot home run, and then a nice line drive to the opposite field for a base hit leading off the inning.
Don't cheat him now. 491 feet.
491, excuse me. Pardon me.
Could you convert that into the metric system for us?
About 300. I don't know.
300 what?
Millimeters.
There you go. Bichette the batter. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and in. He hit a long home run, although it paled in comparison to Manny's. He hit it right after Manny's, back-to-back in the 4th to center field off the bottom of the restaurant out there. Red Sox lead 5-4. Another back-and-forth game in this series, and another one in which the Red Sox have had their way in the late innings. Bichette asked for time, was granted time. Escobar threw the pitch anyway.
This may be Bichette's last at bat of the game. You might see Lewis go in defensively with the Red Sox and the 1-run lead here late in the ball game.
Were he to get on, they'd probably even run Lewis for him. The 1-strike pitch from Escobar. Swung on and missed. 0-2. There's Darren Lewis.
Changeup grips they were showing.
Yes, Frank Castillo and the mystery hand on the left of your screen. Down the right field line, but slicing foul.
One thing Bichette has showed me is that with 2 strikes, he's willing to cut down his swing and take a base hit to the opposite field. Had a big one in the game on Friday night. And here down a couple of strikes, breaking ball, and just trying to avoid the strikeout. Hits the other way, but foul.
Ooh, look out. Almost got him. I have done the computations, Jerry, on the Fox 25 abacus. 149.7 meters, the home run.
Oh, boy, that few, huh? Jeez. That's a big difference.
149.7 meters. Well, a meter's close to a yard. 1-2 pitch, pulled foul. And that's an impressive Fox 25 abacus that we have that it can convert into the metric system.
Have to have that too when you come to Canada. It's very important to bring that with you.
Now, did you use up all your Canadian money?
I have absolutely nothing left.
You always, because you're textbook at managing your finances anyway, but you always manage to just run out of that Canadian money right when it's time to leave.
I had enough for a tip for the guy to pick up my luggage and enough to get here, eat, and the cab. And it worked out. I have nothing left. Just perfect.
A tip? That must have shocked the guy.
I give him $5.
Well, see, because you wanted to finish on 0.
That's right. That's
so
right.
You could be a big sport with a big $5 tip. Of course, that's 30 cents American, so you're still a cheapskate.
Did the cab driver a $5 tip?
Whoa. Life is good at the Remy Mansion these days.
I wanted none of that funny money left in my wallet when I left.
Don't you feel too, because it is, you know, different. It's like Monopoly money. It's like it's not real.
Right.
Throw it around like this is not real. Of course, our producer Russ Kent and director John Wilson haven't learned how to actually throw the money around and pay for anything, but you and I have.
Oh, you especially. You're an excellent tipper.
Oh, you're too kind. A 1-2 pitch to Bichette.
Wow,
Look out.
Look out, Gino.
Well, standing 8 count for Gene Lamont. Whoa. That'll get his heart pumping. Gene's got a bad wheel too, so it's a little harder for him to move.
Get that heart pumping right now a little bit quicker than it was.
I thought he might take a step or two back after that one, but he's holding his ground just beyond the box.
Going back now, I feel.
Yeah, he's backing up a little bit. He's done a terrific job.
Yeah.
We haven't had any of the catastrophes of the past on the Bates pass this year.
He's become very close too to Jimmy Williams. They have a great relationship.
Well, makes sense. They're both good guys. Hit up the middle. Diving stop by Gonzalez. Fry. Low throw. Dug out by Delgado. What a nifty double play turned by the Blue Jays. 6-4-3.
The guy that started it and the guy that finished it. Two terrific plays. And obviously the one by Gonzalez to get this thing started. Looked like it might have a chance to be a base hit for Dante Bichette, but the dive on the artificial surface. A nice feed to Fry, and then that pick at first base by Delgado. Terrific double play. And certainly all pitches love that kind of an effort.
So 2 outs, the base is empty here in the top of the 8th. The Red Sox leading 5-4. And the fastball high to Brian Daubach. 0 for 2 with a walk. And that was a big play in the game. The walk after a 12-pitch at bat to open last inning. He was the leadoff man. He got on and started the 3-run rally that drove Chris Carpenter from the game. Ball 2-0. League leaders brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. On base percentage, Jason Giambi still gets on base more than half the time. Manny Ramirez second. Olerud, Martinez, Minkiewicz rounding out the top 5. 3-0 now on Daubach with John Valentin on deck. Kelvin Escobar, very talented, but very inconsistent. Was pitched in the starting rotation and out of their bullpen. Daubach broke his bat and hit a ground ball to third. Batista throws him out. We head to the bottom of the 8th in Toronto. 5-4 Red Sox.
Wouldn't it be nice to take a real vacation? Now you can with Southwest Airlines' new Take Along Special. Purchase a special discounted fare by June 11th and take someone along with you for just $30 each way.
On vacation again?
You are now free to move about the country.
At Liberty Mutual Insurance, we want to help Andre Medina have the resources he needs to run his business. And Kitty Hodge to have a new friend and a brighter day. And Melissa Rodriguez to reach the ranks of management. We contribute to hundreds of nonprofit programs in Greater Boston. At Liberty Mutual, we don't just insure against bad things. We try to make good things happen too.
Tonight on Fox 25, Homer becomes an internet junkie, but where does he spend his time while he's downloading? It's The Simpsons. Then at 8:30, be there for Malcolm's most embarrassing moment ever when he gets picked to play a fairy in the school play. It's a Malcolm in the Middle you won't want to miss. Then if you missed any of the X-Files, you missed the season that changed everything. Tonight, see how it all began on the X-Files. It all starts tonight at 8 on Fox 25. Aaron Lewis into the ball game for defense as we go to the bottom of the 8th. He replaces Dante Bichette. And Rod Beck is the pitcher for the Red Sox. 24th appearance of the year for Beck. A record of 1-2. Fewer hits than innings pitched and only 6 walks allowed in 28 2/3 innings. Also of note, just the 3 home runs given up. He's in to protect a 1-run lead. Rich Garces faced 3 batters, gave up an infield hit and hit a batter. He pitched the 3rd of an inning. Beck's the 5th, the Red Sox pitcher.
Beck picked up the save yesterday in this game here and had a couple of strikeouts in the 1 inning that he worked.
He might be in to pitch the 8th and then low the 9th if all goes the way Jimmy Williams and Joe Kerrigan would like to see it go. Top of the order, Shannon Stewart. He takes a strike. Stewart's had another good day. 2 for 4, an RBI single back in the 4th. Then he lined a homer to the opposite field in the Red Sox bullpen. A solo shot in the 6th off Hippolyto Pichardo. Beck lobs one outside, 1-1. Blue Jays have action in their bullpen. Stewart, Gonzalez, Mondesi. First 3 in the Toronto order against Beck. Snapped one away outside. Here's Bob Feil, the right-hander. Cone, Pichardo, Shurik, Garces, now Beck for the Red Sox. Strike 2, 2-2. Fastball high, and it's a full count. Beck not a real hard thrower. That one 89 miles per hour. Gonzalez on deck. 5-4 Red Sox, bottom of the 8th. Threw a floater up and in. Looked like ball 4. Also looked like one that Stewart might tattoo, but he fouled it off.
I don't know what that pitch was supposed to be. I don't know if it was a curveball, but certainly not much action on it. Just stayed inside. Probably ball 4, as you mentioned, Sean. I think that was supposed to be a curveball, but didn't do very much for Beck.
Payoff pitch, fastball this time, hit in the air and right. Nixon retreating on the warning track. He makes the catch. Time now for the game summary, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. We're in the 8th inning, bottom half thereof, and the Red Sox lead 5-4. David Cone started, threw the ball pretty well. Gave up 9 hits, but many of them were little bloops and bleeders. Ramirez and Bichette did back-to-back long homers in the 4th. Ramirez is estimated at 491 feet, longest in Skydome history. And a big play on the Hatteberg single. The throw was not cut off and wound up in the Red Sox dugout. Beck has the Gonzalez bunt and throws him out, 2 down. Gonzalez struck out in his last 3 at-bats, so he was trying to do something different, but it didn't work. The game summary was brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
Looked like he was trying to bunt that ball down the first base line, and you would think with the curveball he might try to deaden it down the third base line. Made it an easy play for Rod Beck to pick up the 2nd out of the inning.
Raul Mondesi, the batter. He singled, walk, struck out, and bounced back to the mound. I haven't seen Wally today. There were reports that he went over to visit former Massachusetts Governor Paul Cellucci at the ambassador's residence in Ottawa.
He did, and he's going to join us tomorrow in New York. Going to have a private plane bring him down. That only flies ambassadors around. But he and the governor, of course, were close when they were in Boston. So
a lot of people felt that Wally's endorsement of Cellucci was the key when he was elected.
Yeah. Well, Wally's also good friends with W, and W listens to what Wally has to say, and they made Cellucci the ambassador.
Partially on Wally's recommendation.
Right.
Mondesi got under that one, hit it a mile high in shallow center. Everett has it. Beck has a 1-2-3 inning. On to the ninth. The Red Sox 3 outs away from a sweep. It's 5-4.
Take a look at the 2001 Kia Sophia.
This long distance thing, it's not gonna work out.
It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
I made a mistake. Please come back.
Maybe we should just be friends.
And with a warranty like that,
Baby, I miss you.
chances are you'll break down before it will.
I think we should get married.
Get up to $1,250 cash back or 1.9% financing through July 2nd.
How do you learn to hit like Nomar? How do you learn to field like Nomar? From Nomar. Enter the Nomar Dream Clinic sweepstakes at your local Dunkin' Donuts, and you can attend a baseball clinic with Nomar at Fenway Park. Want to hit like Nomar? Then hit Dunkin' Donuts first.
I don't know if this is such a good idea. Come on, we only have a few more miles to go.
What if people treated you the way you treat your car?
Suck it up! Let's go!
Treat your vehicle right with quality new truck tires from just $54.99. All you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
Choose road. Validating tires.
BF Goodrich tires with traction advantage.
Approved.
For control you can feel. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Back in Toronto, heading to the ninth inning. The Red Sox hoping for a sweep of this 4-game series, lead the Blue Jays 5-4. Well, tomorrow is the big day for our newest best friend, Jody Applegate. Her new news show on Fox 25 starts Monday at 4:30. The Fox 25 News at 4:30 with Jody Applegate. She'll give you the news of the day. Kevin Lemanowitz has your weather. Don't miss the debut of Fox 25 News at 4:30 starting tomorrow afternoon. A new time and a new choice for local news. And a new pitcher for Toronto, Bob File, throws strike one to John Valentin.
13th appearance of the season, second of this series for File. He pitched 2/3 of an inning and hit a batter. It was Carl Everett that he hit in that ball game a couple of days ago.
1-1 now on Valentin. He had a big hit during the 3-run seventh, a single he scored. One of the runs the Red Sox got in that inning to take the lead. Nice play by Gonzalez, ranging to his left. 1 out.
He's putting on a show out there today defensively. He's taken a few base hits away from Red Sox hitters, and here's the most recent. One big hop, completely outstretched, has plenty of time to spin around, get himself under control, and make the throw to first base for the out. He's a good shortstop.
Yes, he is.
A lot of good shortstops in the American League.
Hatterberg takes a belt high strike. Breaking ball missed. Hatterberg is 1 for 3. He had the single to left in the 7th inning. And that was one of the biggest plays in the game. He came up with first and second and nobody out. Derek Lowe warming up in the bullpen now. Hatterberg single to left. Gene Lamont was holding the runner Daubach at third base. Throw in from Stewart went off the glove of the cutoff man Batista near the mound and into the Red Sox dugout. 2 runs scored to tie the game, and Hatterberg went to third. He later scored the go-ahead run. Gonzalez again. A bit deflected off File. 2 outs here in the ninth. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
You're watching WFXT Fox 25 Boston. Home.
Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy, delighted to have you watching on one of our 12 network stations around New England. For those of you watching on Fox 25, NASCAR on Fox coming up right after the game. The MBNA 400. From Dover Downs in Delaware, Shea Hillenbrand, the batter. He had a sacrifice fly that drove in the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. An infield hit back in the third. 1-1 now on Shea. File, a rookie from Philadelphia, deuces a foul ball from his fellow rookie Hillenbrand. Lowe will likely come in to try to save it in the bottom of the ninth, and he'll have to face the middle third of the order. Delgado, Fulmer, and Cruz are due up. The 1-2 to Hillenbrand. He struck him out. A late swing by Shea. A 1-2-3 inning for File. They go to the bottom of the ninth. The Red Sox 3 outs away from a sweep, but tough work to be done for Derek Lowe.
When it comes to bestsellers, your New England Ford dealers are leading the pack with 5 of the top 10 in America. And now, during Ford Truck Month, get up to $2,000 cash back on Ford Ranger. Or choose APR financing as low as 0.9%. The built Ford Tough Ranger, the best-selling compact pickup in America, is now even better, with up to $2,000 cash back or as low as 0.9 financing. Hurry! See your New England Ford dealers during Ford Truck Month.
Senator, we have a problem.
A government agent they no longer control.
Did you know that I can buy nuclear warheads for $40 million each?
His resources are limitless. His plan is flawless.
This operation's moving fully ahead.
All he needs is the password.
This is now an aerial pursuit. Hold on!
From the producer of The Matrix.
Not everything ends the way you think it should.
Swordfish, rated R. Starts this Friday at a theater near you.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom, 30 years, one mission, low fares. By Dunkin' Donuts, where the action heats up this season, cool off at your neighborhood Dunkin' Donuts, loosen up a little. By your New England Ford dealers, visit your New England Ford dealers for the best-selling trucks on the planet. By Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. And by your New England Toyota dealers, where you'll find exceptional value every day.
Five to 4 as we move to the bottom of the ninth inning here at Sky Dome, and on to try to close this one out for the Red Sox will be Derek Lowe. Lowe with 5 saves on the season. His last outing coming a couple of days ago when he worked 2 innings in the game, allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. 2 blown saves and 5 saves on the season for Derek Lowe.
He's 3 outs away from dealing Buck Martinez and the Blue Jays their 5th straight loss and their 9th in their last 11. They'd be 7 games behind the Red Sox if the Red Sox can hang on. There's Carlos Delgado. He got the scoring started back in the bottom of the third when he had a 2-run homer with Mondesi aboard off David Cone. He has an infield single as well and has struck out twice. He checks his swing and hits a chopper foul. Jason Varitek is catching. He's replaced Scott Hatteberg. It's an all-new battery here in the bottom of the ninth. Rod Beck pitched 1 inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning. Foul tip into the mid of Varitek. 0-2. In the dirt. 1-2. Scott Brocious has just hit a homer for the Yankees, a 2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth, but Cleveland still leads New York 4-3. The ball 2-2. Red Sox will be in New York tomorrow night. Pedro Martinez and Ramiro Mendoza, the ball game on Nesson. Just the 1 game in New York where the Red Sox return home Tuesday night. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a curveball.
Now that curveball, you know, he's been burned a couple of times this year on that pitch late in the ball game, but this is a good one. Drops out of the strike zone and into that blind spot for a left-handed hitter. Didn't leave that one out over the plate.
One out. Here's Brad Fulmer. Sends it out of play to the left. Fulmer a single and 4 at bats. Last time up he had a line drive to right. Nixon caught just off the top of the artificial turf. The 0-1 pitch. Hit in the air in center. Everett was playing deep. He doesn't have far to go, and he makes the catch on the edge of the warning track. They were in the defensive mode, trying to cut off an extra base hit by having the outfielders play deep. Ordinarily, that ball's probably over Everett's head and off the wall on a hop and a double for Fulmer.
No question about it, because Everett generally plays much shallower than he is now, but with the 1-run lead, they're in that prevent defense. Deep, very deep in the outfield, and Everett back to the warning track to make the catch.
The Red Sox 1 out away now from their first 4-game sweep in Toronto since August of 1995. Jose Cruz Jr. is swinging a miss. He is singled, grounded out. He was intentionally walked in the 5th, and he singled and stole second in the 7th. 2 for 3. He's been on base 3 times. 5-4 Red Sox, bottom of the 9th. With a win, the Red Sox would improve their record against Toronto to 6-1. These are very difficult days for the first-year manager Buck Martinez. Not only his team's problems on the field, but he and his family still dealing with the death last week of his mother-in-law. One and 2 the count. They're 1 strike away from their 5th straight loss. One-two pitch. Hit hard on the ground. Backhanded by Valentin. Long throw. No chance. Cruz runs well. Valentin's momentum taking him into the hole. By the time he could put the brakes on and set himself for the throw, he had no chance. It was off the bag anyway. So the Jays are alive on the infield hit by Cruz. He has his 3rd hit. He's on base for the 4th time.
Nice play just to get to the ball by Valentin, but no chance at all. You mentioned the great speed from Cruz going down the line and hitting from the left side. So Cruz 3 hits on the afternoon and a steal.
It's all over in New York. The Yankees have lost to Cleveland 4-3. So if the Red Sox hang on and win this one, they'll have a 2-game lead over New York and a 7-game lead over Toronto. Low checks on Cruz, who stole the 7th base of the season without being caught in the 7th inning. The dangerous Tony Batista, 1 for 4, an infield hit off Rich Garces in the 7th inning. Cruz takes off. Now he's in scoring position. Red Sox continue to be oblivious to opposing base stealers, and the opponents continue to take advantage.
Most closers are not quick to the plate, and that's certainly the case with Derek Lowe. He has that high leg kick, and Veritek didn't even get out of his crouch.
That's the 3rd stolen base for Toronto today. The first 2 who stole the base did not score. 1-1 on Batista. Tying run now at 2nd. 5-4 Red Sox in the 9th. Swung on and missed. 1-2. So again, the Red Sox are 1 strike away from a win.
Just don't leave the ball middle into this guy.
Cruz takes off for 3rd. The pitch low and in. Another stolen base. A 9th for Cruz. The 3rd in this game. So now any kind of a pitch in the dirt, Veritek is the man on the spot. Batista stepped out.
Lowe shook off the curveball. He wanted the fastball away.
Two-2 pitch. He missed low and away. Jeff Fry on deck. The 3-2 pitch. He struck him out with a sinker, and the Red Sox have swept the Blue Jays. Eric Lowe saves it. The Red Sox have won 5 straight overall, matching their longest winning streak of the season.
Staying away from Batista, the sinking fastball for the strikeout. Just didn't want to make a mistake middle in on this guy. Just stay away from him, especially in that situation. And Lowe gaining that confidence back as the Red Sox closer.
The totals for Boston: 5 runs, 8 hits, an error, and 4 men left. For Toronto, 4 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, and one of the big stats of the game: 12 men left on base, 9 of them left in scoring position, including the potential tying run at third base in the 9th. Apollo Pachardo, the winner, 1-0, and Chris Carpenter, the starter and loser, 5-3. Lowe saved at his 6th. Ramirez, Bichette, and Delgado with homers in the game. The time of the game: 3 hours and 5 minutes before 24,653. Once again, the final score: the Red Sox 5 and the Blue Jays 4. This is the Fox 25 Red Sox Television Network.
The play of the game is brought to you by New England Ford dealers, and it's going to be the longest home run in the history of Skydome. 491 feet for Manny Ramirez. He was followed up by another home run by Dante Bichette. For the best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the planet, visit your local New England Ford dealer or log on to newenglandford.com.
The Red Sox are now 32-22. They have a 2-game lead over the Yankees in the American League East. We hope you'll join us again Tuesday night from Fenway Park when the Red Sox open a 3-game series with the Detroit Tigers. The scheduled pitchers are Hideo Nomo.